Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the closing argument. J. Victor Namwe here with you. It's good to be with you. I'm sitting in for my buddy, Jerome Gayman. Jerome had asked me a couple of days ago to sit in for him today because Jerome is a Republican. When I tell you guys, Jerome is a lot of things. You don't believe me? Jerome is a Republican. And so he asked me to sit in for him today because there is a Republican convention going on in somewhere in Florida. Um, so he's at that convention. This is long before the shooting death of the young Republican activist. So Jerome is not going to be here today, and I'm glad to be with you. Do the best I can to fill the boots. You know, Jerome wears some real big boots, big shoes. So I'll do the best I can. Today we have a lot of stories trending as we're coming on air. There is another rich story that's breaking at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. A minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sports is being accused of rape. This is becoming troubling. His name is J. Brian McGill, and we understand that he has taking a leave of absence. And not only that, there are also allegations trailing him about the embezzlement of some $200,000. So we'll try to dive deeper into that story. There's also a delegation in town from the Sahel region. I believe you know the Sahel is comprised of those countries south of the Sahara Desert. You know, they include countries like Burkina Faso, Cameroon, the Chad, Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, Niger. You know, those countries, there is growing concern about a lot of movement, especially the Burkinabe. We know they are already all over Liberia. But there is a delegation in town to raise concerns and actually encourage the Liberian government to anticipate a potential migration of people from these regions coming to Liberia as well. So, if we have time, we'll talk about that. We also we've asked Senator Koga to come on. Chief Tomalin is working the lines. Apparently, he's already put out a word. Recently, he openly called for an audit of the superintendent. But there are a lot of people who have, you know, a lot of praise for the superintendent. So that was pretty confusing. So we've also asked the superintendent if she has time to come on. Let's talk about what's happening. Senator Koga seems to be concerned with the application of the social development funds, how she is expanding these funds. There are allegations that the caucus is being locked out. And so he is calling for a full audit of the superintendent. So would try, you know, and dive deeper and look into that. There's also the call that Musa Azam Belete has been making, Honorable Belete, of course, the chairman of the CMC, to order the legislature. He has renewed that call, and we want to see if we can shine a little bit of light. I know Chief Tomalin had indicated that we may have to do a series of shows on this, but you know, we think we should begin to bring this online. We cannot, you know, let this pass and not begin to sound the warning. We all know about the call for the recast of the budget and all of that. So we'll do all of that. But in the meantime, we are trying to bring online our delegation from the Union of Liberian Associations in the America, EULA. They have the convention coming up next weekend. And so we've asked the president, Mr. Mohammed, MSG1 Keita, to join us. And he's also bringing on the host chapter president as well as one of the committee members. who is also helping to organize the convention, Mr. Julius Parker. So just give me a second. I have to send them the link so that they can come on. They had already contacted me a few minutes ago, but I told them the link had not come up yet. So just give me a second here while I try to send out the link, and so that they can join us and tell us what to look forward to for this year's Yola convention, which is coming up in Indianapolis. So I've sent the link to President Keita. I sent the link to also Mr. Parker. And sent, and also Mr. S.T. Sulif. So again, welcome one and all. It is nice of you to join us. Thank you for being a part of the ride. Appreciate you joining us every day to give us feedback. Some of you are very nice with your feedback, but there are some people, I'm not going to say their names, but they come on here and they give us all the grief imaginable, and they know themselves. But either way, we're happy that you're here with us for the ride, and thanks for joining us. So I've sent the link out. Let's hope Myean and you're in the back. As soon as you see them in the back there, please bring them on. So while we wait for them, let's look at this story. You know, if you remember, just a few days ago, we were talking about a rape case in district number 7 in Nama County of I think 23-year-old man who we were told had molested an 8-month-old baby. And it turned out that even the magistrate of that district was also himself, I think was serving time for 5 months or so for committing similar act. And it looks like these rape cases are, all over the place, and they're becoming more like an epidemic. And we're trying to see and figure out what is happening. And so, again, as we're getting ready, as an indicator to come on, this case flashed on the pages of the Liberian papers. This is in the Investigator. Myean, welcome on, my brother. It's good to have you.
Yes, Mr. Nagbe, thanks for coming on tonight. So others were asking me, why is it that Mr. Jerome is not on? I said, at times we have to swap. The lead host sometimes go for break and then another person takes the lead. That's why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
love
yeah.
they love Jerome more than they love me, but it's okay. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
cry.
Mr. Jerome been on for a long time, so you take over. If you continue, that's how they will love you for the longest.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Mr. Gayman, he loves coming on, and I appreciate him for that. But he had to attend a convention, a Republican convention. Jerome is a Republican. He is a diehard Republican.
Wow.
Believe it or not, yeah. He and I, we agree on a lot of things, but that's one of the places we disagree. But he is a Republican. He had indicated to me a couple of days ago the convention was coming up, so he wanted me to come and sit in for him, and so here I am. So, but he's off today. He's at a convention, and we want to wish him well. Our sympathies also to Jerome and his Republican colleagues who are still mourning the passing of this young man yesterday, whose life was cut short, 31 years old. And up to now, they haven't found, his assassin yet. But
Wow.
we wish, we send our condolences to the family as well. So you want to bring us up to speed on this this youth minister and the rape case, if you know anything about it?
Yes, yes. I've been doing some investigation on this issue, and then we been at the ministry. One of my colleagues We've been at the Ministry of Youth and Sport yesterday, where we started this investigation, and then we received this information from a reliable source within that same area, and then it was how we received the father of this victim, one Christopher. He's the one who I've been talking with him personally, back and forth. So today, even today, before I've come on the show, I spoke with him, and then before this incident, he narrated in this entire story how this thing came about. But as we go about doing this investigation, we've been receiving so many calls, been receiving so many information that what exactly is going on. Mr. Nagbe, we have someone in studio, our guest. I don't know why I'll get Mr. Mohammed. If you ready, you can just let me know. I'll bring him in.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Just go ahead when you land on this, then we'll bring him in. He's waiting for another guest to join him. So go ahead once you're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when he informed us about this, and then today we started to get some information from a reliable source within that this fellow we are talking about is from he was part of the CDC, and then later he came out toward the Unity Party government, and then as a result of that, people been fighting him within that position.
Okay.
Some UPs been fighting him, and then they cannot get after him. So as a result of that, that's the only way they can be able to get after him. So they will use someone else to get after him, because the report I'm getting is that that place that he occupies, that particular area that he served as a deputy minister, they have a higher budget, and then that place is comprising of huge amount of money, where within the ministry, that's one of the places where the entire ministry have one of the highest budget in terms of the budget allocation. There where they have it. So people are trying to remove him from that place, and then put or you place there, or someone who will be able to spearhead that place, that they can be able to control the person. But we cannot confirm that. But that's just the rumors we've been hearing.
Okay.
Since we came out with this investigation. So we also spoke with the father of this victim, but the victim name is still in hiding. And then even though people are posting some photos, but we yet to confirm that picture, because others would just like to take someone else's picture and then hide it and just post it out just to say that's a victim. But we yet to confirm the victim picture on the social media. For those of you who will be watching, who will be on the social media, if you see a photo where someone is identifying that this is the victim, do not just believe it, because others we know our Liberian media practitioner, or we know the professional we in. At times, people just take some pictures and then put it on the media just to just carry that pictures and say, yeah, we have evidence, we have other facts, we have the victim. I received a call today from the UN women, where because I was the one who firstly investigated and then bring out the full investigation. So people started to call me today, and then I did the first publication on yesterday on Variety, and then we did it on TC also. So people started to call me today and then asking me about more detail how this entire incident happened. But this fellow we are talking about, he's still denying the fact. So he still
Okay.
yeah, it still remains alleged, because we cannot confirm until the Liberia National Police finish with the investigation, and then the Ministry of Gender is also part of this entire investigation. So they are going to do the entire investigation properly, and then come up with the final ruling, or the final decision that yes, it is his doing. If he's not still satisfied, then they can be able to take it to the court. But for the meantime, he came out with a statement from him directly that he take a leave from the ministry following the allegation of a rape case against him. So this particular man, we've been doing some investigation on him. TCA, we've been doing some
Okay.
investigation on him as a result of some alleged rehabilitation of 100 disadvantaged youth within
Right.
law. County, and then we call him. Some part of last month, we call him. When we call him, we place a call to him. What he told was, "I'm sick. I cannot respond to you." And then this same particular issue again about this rape. When we place a call to him, he said the same thing. "I'm sick. I cannot respond to you." So I see it to be like that kind of person who don't respond to people whenever a media or person call him to get some information from him. That's how he like got. I've tried on too many occasions and
Right.
then he failed. The first one was on alleged allegation against him. That particular place that he spearhead that they carry on rehabilitation for 100 youth within Lofa County, and then they did the budgeting, everything, where we are getting information that this did not happen within Lofa. We call from that area. We even sent some people there and they did an investigation. That did not happen, but they did a whole entire plan, just like when you have a program, or when you do a proper planning where everything is done, and then you do a report. That's how it was like. And then even the disadvantaged youth that they are, according to them, the report that they made was made, and then the disadvantaged youth that they are referring to, we cannot find any of them. And even the vehicle that was bought for them up to now is the work of the ministry using it. It's not a disadvantaged youth, because it was bought, according to them within the report, it was bought for the disadvantaged youth to use it. So as a result of that, that's why they came about to say, yes, we done this for 100 disadvantaged youth within Lofa. And then
Right.
the people of Lofa have not seen anything like that. So the people make this request to a few other government officials, and then we were able to get that report, lay our hands on it, and doing some investigation. After this rape issue, we are coming up with our final decision, because we hit in the first time, and then he had a one or two issues, so we still waiting on him. After this issue, we will come back.
Okay. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Let's bring our guests on, and hopefully, when the other guys join us, then we'll drill much deeper on these matters. So, thank you very much for the update, and let's welcome on set. Uh, the Mr. President, are you there?
I think you have to open your camera.
Yeah.
I'm coming in. Let me just.
Okay. Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're happy to have on set with us today, the president of the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas, Mr. Mohammed MSG1 Keita. He's coming with his delegation to talk to us on what is at foot in the union. Mr. President, it's an honor and pleasure to welcome you on set.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today. Appreciate it.
Okay.
You have a phone there vibrating. I think you can just.
Yeah, I gotta mute everybody because I'm somewhere I don't have there. Let me see if I can just I will just mute my phone. 1 second.
Sure, take it down.
Okay.
All right. So keep checking the back as well, Maya. I think there are two other people who should be joining.
So no one's there. Yeah.
Okay.
For now.
The other gentleman is he'll be in about 8 minutes. Says about 5:30. So, but it should be two other people coming in to join him. So what's going on in Monrovia? Is it raining today? How's the weather over there?
The weather here since this morning, the weather have been very bad from our end here, because there have been so many rain this morning up to the evening hour for our marketers, people who are doing businesses. It was very difficult for them, because for people to even come out today was very hard. Even the people who are riding bikes and taxi driver, they have a difficult time today to even run traffic or make their money for their family and be able to do other things, because if rainfall in Liberia heavily, people cannot be able to come out, because there is no movement, maybe except for people who are working, and then it's mandatory to them that you should come out. But some people who have less business schedules We say, oh, probably maybe the rainfall, I don't have nothing much doing, so why can't I sit home and just relax myself for today? Because everyone, even if you're going somewhere and then the rain catch or you somewhere, you say, let me just sit home and then leave it because the rain is too much. That's how it's like. So since this, we've been experiencing huge rain. I went to town today and I came back just 2 hours ago. So it
Okay.
has been a serious rain from our end here in Dopoh.
And the sad thing about it is, the majority of our population are the type who cannot take a day off. I mean, they have to get out there to go and hustle. And but yeah, that's the weather in West Africa, especially Liberia. So much rain, but people got to get out there and hustle. So it is what it is. On my end here, is the past 2 days have been pretty dreary, not overcast. Little rain, but not a lot. Sometimes hours and hours, no rain. It's just kind of overcast. No sun, but no rain. It's a little cold. But today, it's been very humid. Not hot, but just humid, moist. Moist. You get out. You feel the heat on your body. But that is the weather here on the East Coast here in Jersey. So we're trying to wait for the president to come on. We'll try to save the rest of the topics as the guys come on to join us. We'll go deeper into them. Again, if you missed what we have said, there is a delegation in town from the Sahel region. They've come to sit with our officials. I believe they met with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and officials of government at the executive mansion as well, to sound a warning that there is concern about the movement in the Sahel region. Some of it they're linking to climate change. Some of it they're linking to migration just because of economic reasons. They have affected some of the countries. Some of the countries they named include Ghana, which is right next door, where they are already seeing a lot of movement. Some of these people, especially, we have seen some of the Burkinabes in Liberia. Nothing against the Burkinabes, but these are migrant farmers mostly. They come in for the farmland, but there are other people from other nationalities who are interested in other things, and so the delegation is here to alert our people that you need to be prepared for this. It is going to come. You can't stop it. So we will talk about how our people are receiving this and how prepared we will be. I can tell you right now in the northeast region, we have a large presence of the Burkinabes. You're talking places like River G, places like Maryland County, they are there. Where I'm from, Barubo, they are there. They are going into the innermost part of the country. And I just saw a group of women demonstrating, I think yesterday or so, in River G, expressing concern about what is happening. So our government, we'll talk about how prepared our government is, to deal with this. We also have indicated that of recent, the recently elected senator of Nimba, Samuel Gongbe, I believe that's his middle name, Koga, is expressing
Koga.
Gongbe. There you go.
Yeah.
That's my brother-in-law. But he is expressing concerns about the financial management of the county, especially the social development fund, by the superintendent called Myean Gongloe, and he wants an audit. I haven't seen her response, and so I don't know how.
Let me say, she came out of a response.
Okay.
Yeah, where she welcomes the audit of the county development funds, and then
Okay.
she expresses a strong confidence of a clear record. That's something she said. They are welcoming it, and
Okay.
then they want a clear record from the county development fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully they will join us, either both of them or one of them. They will join us as the show goes on. To talk about what's happening in Nimba. We know Nimba is the biggest county by landmass in Liberia. Whatever effects happens in Nimba, reverberates throughout the country. So, second most populous county in the nation, the largest by landmass, one of the most developed, one of the most progressive counties in Liberia in terms of development, farming, everything. So we want to talk about what's happening in Nimba. Then there are calls for these audits. There are calls for audits all over the place. We have a clip here that we ask Myean to cue, of Musa ability, making some assertions on a tape. So we want you will play that tape and you listen to it, and then we'll talk about, some of the issues he's raising. Is there a reason for us to be concerned? So we'll talk about that. There is a video circulating. I've been trying to verify this. I sent it to you, Maya, of these purported, expired chicken parts. I came upon this video, I think 2 or 3 days ago, and everybody is sending it to me, and I haven't been able to establish, the authenticity. Whether it's a recent video, is an old video, but either way, I know this is happening in Liberia because the voices and the people on the video. So we'll play that video and we'll open the line and see have our people calling, and tell us what they make of these, because according to the reporting, these are expired chicken parts. You're talking about chicken feet, chicken legs, chicken wings, and all these things. And you can see on the video they really look like they have expired. And the allegation is that people come there and still buy them as expired as they are, and take them home and dry them and bring them back and sell them to our people. So we'll talk about that and see, whether the Minister of Commerce you have any role to play in this, whether in fact they are aware of what is happening, and so we'll delve into that. There is a case of I'm sorry, Maya, you wanted to come in?
No, no, I just want to come in what you just said
Okay,
about
go ahead.
the expired goods. So nowadays in our country, we as Liberians, most especially in the urban area, people don't really go after the features or the animals that or the meat that are within the rural part, because everyone just see the coastal meat or the coastal food to be everything. Because if you go to the rural coastals, and then the people who buy from there, at times maybe they will find difficulties to be able to freeze that meat or that chicken, and then it will lead them for certain time and get rotten. And then the customer might likely say, "Oh, you're taking," or they will tell them if it's being sold for probably maybe around 2,000 the cartoon. Maybe they'll tell them, say, "Oh, bring 1,000 or bring 1,005, or maybe drop it to the lowest that they can be able to afford, and then just to take it away. And then if it takes away, they will be able to go to their various communities, various home, to be able to sell it there cheap, because that's not the price they use to buy it, but because it is rotten, and then they will just be able to carry in their homes in a various communities to be able to sell it there, so that people can be able to buy it too. So if someone else buy from there, and let's say for instance that person is selling a kobo, and then you buy that rotten chicken or that rotten coastal meat, and then you carry within your home, and then cook it with a kobo, people who don't know, they be able to eat it, and then you think that that's good thing you are doing for yourself, or good thing you're doing for people, but you are also harming the another person, because you don't know that kind of bacteria that have sat in there in that meat or that chicken, and then you
Yeah.
just be able to go and dry it, cook it, and then put it in the food for other people to eat it. That's why people can say nowadays Liberians we encounter so many sicknesses, so many diseases, because if I can recall some of our older folks, if they were to narrate some stories to you, sometimes they will tell you, during those days you will see people who are in the ages like 70, 60. You'll see some of them will live above, but nowadays you can see people who are at that age to be able to live up to that year, because they might not be eating that proper food or that proper diet that will be able to help them to give them that energy or that strength. Because nowadays, like, we just see the coastal food or the coastal meat to be the good ones, that we don't get time for the other food, because it's just very hard for you to see people saying, "I don't want to eat coastal meat," or "I don't want to eat coastal chicken." It's very hard, because Liberians, we just see the coastal food to be the best one, because They just leave on in a container and then bring it out. They don't get time to go in a bush or in a river path to get it, because the people in a 70, in a 60, people used to live their life normally. They used to for you to see them encountering sicknesses or diseases, it used to be hard. Where you used to eat their fresh meat, eat their fresh food, eat things that they themselves grow and be able to eat it. But nowadays we just see everything to just be easy to us. We just want to just see and then just eat it right away. We don't know how it was prepared, how it was properly kept. We just want to see food and just eat it. So nowadays we experience so many, and not only that chicken. Sometimes if you really look at it critically, nowadays you see some disadvantage you. Maybe probably if they're going around and then maybe or company opening that area and then putting all expired goods, and then they will just go there and pick everything in from there and carry in the pure communities, go and share it on the people, or go and sell it cheap to the people. People who don't know how to read, people don't know Liberian people. Most especially I see Liberians nowadays, they don't love reading, because you will not have time to be able to look on that pack to see what's the expired date, what are you eating, how it was prepared, what kind of things you eating. People don't get time for that. They just want to see things and just eat it, or just want to see things and just start to consume it. Because if that person bring that thing, you just see it will be looking cheap. Yeah, I used to buy this thing $5 here, but the person said the 500. I think it's cheap. I think it's better that I buy it, because if I buy something $5 here and then someone is selling it 500, and then I think it's necessary. So Liberians will not be able to look at the proper channel or the rightful way to be able to get something. But Mr. Nambi will have our two guests in studio. I can bring them in now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Thank you. Okay, Mr. President, if you can hear me, welcome back. I think you upgraded to to a bigger device. I can see, so welcome, and also Mr. Parker Julius, welcome. It's good to have you all on today. I know you came on because you have a convention coming up. And so you came on to talk to us about what you have in store for next weekend. So I will pass it on to you, whoever wants to go first. Mr. President, before we do that, let me ask you, is this election year? Are you running to be re-elected for re-election this year? Or this is not election year?
There's not election year. This is a year LeBron in the diaspora ready to make decision on the like say the state of the union. This is the time that people will speak their mind to say yes, this is our union, and they'll move forward. But there's not a election year. I'll be sweating here.
Of course, and I had to clear that, because I know a lot of friends will come on here and start to type all kinds of stuff. Oh, election year that coming in, but I know this is not election year. This is an off election year. But however, you have some good things planned for this year, even though there are no elections. And so you're here to talk to us. So I will give the floor back to you now, and then you go first, and then Mr. Parker will come in as president of the host chapter.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Can you hear us? Mr. Parker, if you can't hear us, go out and come back in again.
I will have to. I can hear the.
Also, don't forget to check
all right, let me leave and come back. I don't know what's going on.
That. But don't forget to check your volume, your device volume too. Don't forget. Sometimes people forget. But yeah, go out and come back in if you can hear us.
All right, let me exit and I'll join in again. I don't know what's going on here. I cannot. I'm not hearing you guys.
Okay. Mr. President, you can go ahead while we wait for Mr. Parker to come back.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Nagbe and Mr. Torgbean. We appreciate calling us here tonight, today, to discuss the issue of the purpose of our being here. Actually, this is a 51 annual convention for EULA, to 51 years of our program to here today. Mainly, this year is not an election year. This year is the year that we intend to meet with our members, all the chapter leaders and membership of the union to be here today. And one of our main target is to, this year we'll be talking about our constitution to revise it, and some decision will be making at least this next week, hopefully for the union. There are a lot of things in the constitution which we'll try to amend that will really help us. And I must be, first of all, thankful to Indiana that took her out of the huddle, because last minute time they accepted to host this convention. I appreciate Mr. President for hosting the ULA convention this year, last minute time. A lot of things will be discussed, a lot, in our business section, which will be Saturday morning up to 1 or 2 o'clock for ULA, and the evening will be the ball, at which time we'll be honoring a lot of people who really stood by the union, stood by the organization, and stood by the Liberian people in the diaspora. And we'll be, we'll be honoring our Senator Jari, who really stood by Liberian during the time of immigration crisis. We'll be honoring Dr. Tua, who there throughout. I know people know him to be original countryman. He's been there for Liberian throughout, and I will be honoring him this year. And guess what? We'll be honoring Liberian women for the time, all the way. Liberian women always standing by us, no matter what. Despite some of the things we do, but yesterday they stood by us, through the hurdle, through the time, the crisis, they're over there. It's about time to tell the Liberian women, thank you so much, and we're ready to do that. And one of the most important honor will be this year. We are honoring the dual citizenship father. We want to honor those who brought the dual citizenship for us. They did well. They left from here. They went Morovia. They fought for so many years in the corridor of the representative, the senator, to make sure for us, get a dual citizenship here today. We'll be honoring that. This time around, you will know in the name of dual citizenship father. So it's not one man thing. It's all Liberian that did, went through this dual citizenship for it to work out. There's so many things we'll be doing this coming weekend, and I will hope people will come there at least to express themselves. And this is a time, Liberian, please don't stay behind. Come and express yourself through your chapter leader. Come and express yourself. This is a time we'll need a change that will carry our organization forward. And I thank you so much for inviting us today. And I'm ready to answer any question. Bring it on. We're ready to answer. Thank you.
All right. Bring it on. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Parker, welcome on set again. You're the host chapter president. What is it that you have on store? For full disclosure, my wife and I, we've already bought our tickets. We will be in Indianapolis on Friday evening, so we're looking forward to this event. We invite all.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, I'm not hearing.
Okay.
I think he's facing some technical issue.
You have to go and come. We're hearing you.
But you're not hear us.
You can hear us.
Okay.
I think maybe you can just take another phone and then just be listening when it's his time.
Yeah.
Then he just come and make a remark. But I don't know why he's here or in the backstage, because
I am hearing
you. Are you hearing us?
Okay, I think. Can you hear me? I think we are good. We should be good now.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. All right.
So, go ahead. If you heard me, I wanted you to tell us, what it is that we are looking forward to as president of the host chapter, what you got planned for us.
Okay. Thank you very much for having us here this evening. By way of introduction, my name is Julius Parker. I'm the president of the Liberian Association here in our beautiful state of Indiana. And so, first of all, we are honored to be selected to host this year's ULA convention, the 51st convention. We have a lot of things lined up for the weekend of the 19th, starting from the 19th to the 21st. From the time the president, President Keita, reached out to me, I quickly assembled a team together. One of our finest men and women, within our community, and they have been working diligently to help put this whole program together. This team, this planning committee has been working in collaboration or in conjunction with EULA, and so everyone have been working assiduously to make sure that this upcoming convention is a success. And so some of the things that we have lined up, I think the president kind of summarized, but on the, as I said earlier, the convention starts on the 19th. On the 19th will be the meet and greet. All right. We're going to be welcoming our guests from out of state. And then we're also going to have um, some program, there'll be some program that night. And then the next day, on the 20th, there'll be a business session in the morning. And then in the evening, after the business session, there'll be the convention ball that evening. And then the convention will be climaxed on Sunday with a Thanksgiving service, which is the 21st. And so, in short, that's just the line up for the activities for this year's convention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Parker. We'll come back to you again, Mr. President. I see here you've lined up a very impressive list of very, very powerful people in the community. I see you have Dr. John T. Wulu Jr., an educator and speaker. Then, of course, our regular, and like you said, our boy, the old country man, Dr. Thomas Nimlet Toy, as a special guest of honor. Then you also have Honorable Musa Hassan Bility, special guest and chief luncher. And you have Dr. Melvin Ford as trade and investment. You want to talk a little bit about these people? Why did you choose them?
Yeah, Dr. You know, Abulaway, as an educator, uh, first of all, we carry on a project in Liberia. I put on three building in Liberia, which have been a multi-complex for EULA. And within that sector, we have an area for education. And knowing fully well that the kind of our educational system really need help. And people are around. We have a lot of Liberians here in this country and everywhere. They are educated and they know how to get around to see how best way. So we got to know him, and we found out his background has been mainly education, and he's been helping a lot of people. So I said, but it's about time that at least we can find out with him to see how best way the product can come, to tell the Liberian what he can do, what some of the things he would do to help our, country through EULA to help our brothers and sisters, especially our children that are coming up. Because the bright mouth of anything, when it's brighter, it's always the best feature of the country. Because without education, we're going to have a serious problem. And with Dr. Melvin Ford, you don't even have to. His name alone, the brother from 1973 all the way, he always there for the diaspora, the African American and African. He's a brother who always try to bring our people together as one. He been at Peace Corps from 1973 all the way to come, and he been really happy. They help in not only finance, but his moral support for Africa, and some of the things he been doing for for the African community, and you see that, and we see that people will say, "Oh Lord, you like to bring the politician and one that listen." We are here. It's not about politics. It's about what can be done for our country. And I will see a man who has a vision for Liberia, and he moved from one place to another without promoting anybody. The same one like Dr. Tua will look and say, you know what? We need somebody who will come here. And the time we called Dr. Tua, he didn't hesitate. He left a job. He came to EULA to help us. Financially, morally, he always there. And Dr. Tua not only helping just EULA, in Liberia as well. He extended a hand everywhere to help everybody. So a man like that, we want him on board with us. So this time, we want to tell you, thank you. Stay alive, we'll give you a flower. That's all we want to call Dr. Tuaya. And Honorable Hassan Belete, we have series of people that we can invite to come. People will say, why always bring them from Liberia? Because the reason is that you come and see, you on the ground and you seeing things. And somebody who extended his hand, not from his house, he extended his hand outside his house to do something for Liberia. So we look forward and say, you know what? I think we can take it. And selecting Assemblity, it was more, we had about 6 people to be selected. And we talked to some of them. And believe me, some of them had not even responded to all yet. And the same way in Liberia. And we're honored to see that Honorable Hassan Belete accepted our invitation to come and be a chief launcher for us for our, program in Liberia, the multi-complex. And we have a lot more. You don't talk about the women empowerment, but that's okay. But thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Let me also welcome, as said, Dr. Henry Peabody, one of the executives here at the closing argument. Dr. Peabody, welcome to the show.
Good to see you, Mr. Nagbe, and good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Happy Thursday, man. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you. And let me answer some of our audience members here. They keep asking me about Jerome. Y'all leave me alone about Jerome. Jerome is okay. Jerome Gayman is all right. I'm not Jerome Gayman. Jerome Gayman is okay. Jerome is a Republican. Jerome went to attend a Republican convention. So I think Jerome is okay. He'll be back tomorrow. I know you miss him. I think he'll be back with you tomorrow. I'll let him know you love him and you miss him. Martin Willie, I know you're somewhere in, I think, North Korea or South Korea it is. Welcome to the show. Morris Jar, watching from your CMC corner in Ganta City. Morris, welcome. Seleke Kromah, our colleague here who is in East Africa. Kigali, Rwanda. Seleke, welcome to the show. I don't know why you're not on set. John Tilo, John is she's watching from Burville. She said she's the one who keeps asking about Mr. Gayman. I'll let you know you miss him. But welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Mr. Bago,
Yes.
tell us, is there anything else besides the formal program that we're looking forward to after the meet and greet? We have the evening, the business program, then the evening ball, or is everything just gonna be around the main event? Sometimes there's sightseeing, sometimes there's some good sites to go and see in Indiana or something like that, or is it just you're gonna stay with the main program? And
Well,
let me thank you. You had indicated initially your chapter was not supposed to host. I believe it was
absolutely.
Arizona. The president was it?
Yeah, he stopped now supposed to host. It's going to be Arizona.
Right.
But last minute time he accepted us.
Absolutely. So much gratitude to you. But yeah, go ahead. You're gonna say.
Thank you. Thank you. And this is an honor to be frank, because this is our first time to host, to be given an opportunity to host EULA convention, and this is going to be an opportunity to engage, to network, and to just meet other people, meet other Liberians. And so we are excited. We in Indiana, we are very excited. My team is looking forward to meeting everyone, and we want to also use this opportunity to extend an invitation to all Liberians, to come and experience the Hoosier hospitality. You know what? I mean, for some of you who haven't been to Indiana, let me use this platform to encourage you to visit us and come and see what we can do here. So this convention promises to be really, really great, and we are very excited. And so, yeah, and there are other things. And if you all, for some of you who have not been to Indiana, there are things that there are a lot of places. If you I think Indiana is known for its for sports. The Indianapolis Colts. We have the Indy 500. We have the Fevers. I mean, you name it. But besides that, there are other great places you can go and see. Aside, if for those who want to go and see other places. And so we are not just we don't just want to tie you down to the program itself. I understand right after the Thanksgiving service, there will be a park activity, and so it will be a time to just mingle and just and just merry-make. So again, we are excited. Indiana, we are very excited to see our brothers and sisters from all across this country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Parker. Dr. Peabody, if you wanted to chime in, please.
Yeah. Let me chime in. Eula, you guys are hosting your convention this year, but what has been done, in terms of reconciliation within Eula? There's been a lot of stuff going on when it comes to Eula. I read about it. They had a last election somewhere in New Jersey or PA the other time, and there was a lot of fraud and fighting and stuff going on that election. What are you guys doing to restore dignity and pride and reconciliation into Eula? Because you guys have had some difficult paths, some very difficult challenges. What are you guys prepared to do this time to really bring back confidence around Liberians in the U.S. and different states and all of that?
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Peabody. The good thing here is that Liberians, no matter the circumstances, when it comes to the interests of our country, we're always united, no matter what. We understand sometimes the crisis will come, but once we realize our mistake or something like that, we'll come together and see how best way. And that's why this administration from day one, since we were elected, we extend our hand to every Liberian. Even those that left the Union for 20, 30 years back, we extend our hand to all of them. And we're not only just sitting in one place in the East Coast, we move from state to state when we are invited. Like the other day, I was in California. It was really toxic with people that they didn't want to talk about Eula. They didn't want to hear about Eula. First of all, what is Eula? So we have to go there, at least tell them what Eula is about and telling the story about Eula. So the reconciliation is there. That's why we extend our hand to all those brothers. But looking at Eula today, this is one of the next to the best administration. We don't have crisis among ourselves. We try our best to stay on course to see that everything is on course without any problem. That's why you see a lot of chapters coming. Today we have about almost 22 chapters coming on board, including a county organization. They're all coming on board. So we advise every Liberian, whenever you're in a state and there's a chapter, they join that chapter. This is very important. And because of some of the crises in the back, long time ago that happened way back in 1980, some of the things that happened in 1980 after the coup, what happened in 1980. Now some people stay away. But we extend our hand to some of them. Even with just buried one of our brothers who were part of Eula. He passed away, people didn't know who he was. They forgot about him. And I'm thankful to North Jersey. They tried their best, to have that brother, be identified, to be buried. And one of our former, late president of Eula, he was a president from 1980 to 1982. People forget about them. So we extend our hand to the family to sympathize with them. So there are a lot in box that we need to do. Reconciliation is something, is a continual process. And Eula reconciliation is not only limited to Liberia here. We also extend our hand of reconciliation in Liberia as well. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Dad.
Let me
go ahead, Dr. Peter. I'm sorry, I thought you were Linda. Go ahead.
Let me also ask you, what is Eula relationship with the current administration?
Cordial. One of the best relationship with the government of Liberia. Eula relationship with the current with the government is good, and I would say it's one of the best. We try our best, and if anything happen in a country like Eula, we always come in the middle. We never, to take side for any political party or any individual. We'll come there, and express ourselves and tell them this is happening, And we talked to the government sometime. Sometimes we come on a radio show, and we met with the president of Liberia, not only once, not only twice, but maybe 3, 4, 5 times. And this time around, we're going to meet him again. But the relationship with EULA, with the Republic of Liberia, and the government that they are cordial.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Mr. Ahmed Stefanik, thanks for joining us being a minute, man. It's good to see you back. Welcome to the show. You have a comment or question for our guest?
Well, Sarah, I just didn't really follow up 100% on that. So I think it's just good that I pass and perhaps listen maybe along the way I might. But it's always good to be back. I've been dealing with some other question, personal issues, but it's always good to be back. Good to see you.
It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. Mr. Parker, as the host chapter president, you want to go over your admission tickets, prices, and what the guests expect to get for these prices. I think there are categories of admission into the program.
Correct. So we have the general admission ticket for the ball. First of all, the meet and greet is an open event. So where we're going to be, where people going to be paying their admission will be at the ball. So the general admission is going for $50 a piece, and then we have patron tickets. So the patron ticket starts from $100. Now, if people want to do more than that, you're more than welcome. But patron ticket starts at the price of $100, and so that will include your food, because the drinks will be on sale. But the just to enter the hall that night is $50 a piece for general admission, and then patron tickets is going for $100 a piece.
Thank you. And I presume I wish and Samson, welcome to the show. It's good to have you. If Myean is in the back there, you please see if he can put the flyer on the screen. I think there are contacts people listed on that flyer as well. While we're doing that, Mr. President, I gotta ask you this. I saw somewhere that the former president, my best friend and former schoolmate, Kamara, Dr. Peabody is asking some questions here. Let me see. I understand that even though the way his government ended, we had to go to court and all of that, and that kind of interposed a little bit of a logjam to him being admitted into the Eminent Persons Council. The eminents are the former leaders of the union who successfully vacated the seats. But I understand Mr. Kamara is now going to be admitted, and I know your government has not interposed any objection. Am I correct?
Yeah, during the time of Honorable Shiwo Kamara administration, and after that, we talk with him. I talk with him most of the time. Even sometimes if I get stuck somewhere, I call him for advice, and he advised me. And if he's been accorded that position or with a title as an eminent person, there's some rules there, and I believe they went by the rules. And to me, if he's there as an eminent person and they're accepting, there's nothing wrong with that. We're not going to come out to say we are poor, say, and whatnot, because the eminent person, they have their rules and regulation. They are advisor to the administration. So I believe they're doing something, nothing bad. If it's, to me, it's okay. And if it is true that Honorable Kamara is being accepted as an eminent person, hey, congratulations, my brother. Continue to do the good job.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know you were running up for your final comment, but before we do that, I know you were in Liberia last April, this going April, to launch this project, the multi-purpose complex that the union is undertaking. Do you have any updates on that before we go to your final and parting comments?
Yeah, we first of all, let me be thankful to closing argument, and we appreciate you. You really brought us to light. That time we appeared on your show, and was everywhere. People were expecting us. We went there. It was very successful. It was good, and at least we try our best. We have material on the ground, which will take care of the entire foundation, which we managed to get in Liberia. We have it there, and it just that because of the rainy season, we can't do anything now. Sometimes you got to take people to cross certain place. So, but it went well, and I will thankful to God. As soon as rainy season stop, we started the process and continue with the process. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Parker, any important comments? I mean, obvious, naturally, usually the president speaks last.
Right.
And so, yes, so but the president, I think, he added his closing comment to the update. So if you have any last minute comment before we thank you guys and have you leave.
Yeah. So I just want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the closing argument for giving us this opportunity to just shed light on the upcoming EULA convention. And again, as I said earlier, this convention promises to be a very, very good one. We are anticipating a good number of people coming to our city, our beautiful state, and our beautiful city of Indianapolis. And so, and before I leave, I just want to also add that we are going to have a special performance by one of Liberia's finest gospel musicians by the name of Fatou Zion. So I know some of you may have heard her music, but I can assure you that when you come, she is here. She will be there to deliver, to do what she knows how to do best. And so that's just I just wanted to throw that in. But again, if you can help us to spread the message about this upcoming convention, we will appreciate it. And let the message go forth. Tell somebody to that all road leads to Indiana, to Indianapolis to be specific. Come and let us all grace this upcoming EULA convention. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Parker, and thank you, Mr. President Mohammed MSG1 Keita. We thank you for your time, and I'm getting all kinds of texts here. So, for full disclosure, I also work with the union. I am the diaspora affairs coordinator. Yes, and also yes, Julius Parker is my cousin. So we didn't go to the store to buy that. There is a relationship that we have. Is my cousin, but it is great to have had you guys. Thank you very much. We look forward
Thank you.
to this coming weekend. We'll be assembling in Indianapolis, and for a good cause. And again, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now launching into the second part of our show. And let me recognize Miss Nora Hooks. She's been fierce and writing here. She hasn't been playing. Closing argument, I am looking. That's what you said. You said fiasco organization nonsense. This is you and Nora is talking about. That money they're looking for, no accountability, Liberian people, and money that's 6 and 7. Hey man, Nora, man. How you tell her that? So, but it's good to have you, Nora. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to people like you joining in and helping us bring your critique, your criticism, and your suggestions as well, so that we can make the organization better. Okay, Samson Maya is back there. I sent him a couple of clips. I wanted him to play the clip on the expired chicken parts. I want to also play that and see if we can take a few calls and get people's reaction. I don't know, Dr. Peabody and Mr. Seleke Ahmed, whether you've seen this tip that's been circulating, but apparently there is somewhere, I think in Monrovia, where a warehouse is supposedly storing these expired chicken parts, and our people go and buy these parts, and I understand they go and dry these things and still bring them back to the market to sell again. I don't know if you've seen this and you have any comment on that.
Well, this what I would say, Mr. Nangwe, is that the fact is the Inspector General of the Ministry of Commerce, this is their responsibility, and they should be out there ensuring that the goods and other that comes on the market for our people to buy or even to drink, these things are not in expired stage. A lot of these things happen many times. These people bring the food, bread, and other things that expire. Our people don't look at it. They go to these stores or these supermarkets in Monrovia. They just buy this thing and put it there. Most of the time, these things have expired. Even the drinks and other things have expired. And the issue of corruption continues because when the inspector go to these places, these people kind of put things in their pocket, give them money, and they really don't carry on their responsibility in terms of checking these things. But these are crucial things, and you wonder why many people get sick in that country and die because some of the food and some of the drugs that are on the market, even the drugs that are on the market, those things are so bad off, and our people don't know. Because you can walk into any pharmacy in Liberia and just buy drugs, and take it. No prescription from doctor. You just tell the man I need Tylenol, the man will give it to you. You tell the man I need this, they will give it to you. So they don't know what kind of drugs they are taking home. They don't know. People want to make the money, and they are just giving it to them. So it's same with the food. What about the inspector? Who goes to inspect the food, the meat, and things that come into the country and stuff like that? Who goes to the places from the agriculture ministry or where to inspect this food and things that come to the country, especially the meat and the different canned food and stuff like that? Our people just rely on the Inspector General, others. They go there, the Lebanese people, they are in the Lebanese people pocket, Lebanese and Indian people pocket. So when they go there, I mean, they're like, oh yeah, Mr. John, this is something for you. You take it, you leave. You don't care whether 500 people are going to die or 600 people are going to die. You just don't go and leave it there because half of the officials are in the pockets of these Lebanese or Indian business people.
Yeah. Samson, thank you, Samson. Let's play that and take a few calls and see,
This one is consumable. It is not.
No way.
Okay. You see what is happening here? Wow. Look at this thing. You getting it? We are here today because of what is happening here.
So is it what the name of the place? Africa number one?
What African Enterprise?
What's African
Enterprise?
Huge concern.
The news out there we get all you see Congo community.
This is unfortunate.
All the flat is here.
The RG in service here. Mr. Myean Batu, the Inspector General Ministry of Commerce. And he is set.
All of them.
Wow.
Look here. What is guys are doing here?
So everything is fixed.
These things are expired, and these guys are packaging them so that they can sell them to our people. Now we have understood that the people are drying these things. When they take them from here, they carry them and dry them. See the corner here? These are things that are expired. You see how the whole column smells? So what you guys to know about that. So take the photo and let our people know what is happening. In as much as we got people coming here, they buy there overnight and carry to dry them. Look at this thing. Look here. Really? Is this something that is consumable? It is not.
No way.
Okay.
You see here? See what is happening here?
Wow.
Look at this thing. You getting it? We are here today because of what is happening here.
So is it what the name of the place? Africa number one?
What African Enterprise?
What's African
Enterprise?
Huge concern.
The news out there we get all you see Congo community.
This is unfortunate.
All the flat is here.
The RG in service here. Mr. Myean Batu, the Inspector General Ministry of Commerce. And he is set.
All of them.
Wow.
Now look here. What the guys are doing here?
So everything is fixed.
These things are expired, and these guys are packaging them so that they can sell them to our people. Now we have understood that the people are drying these things. When they take them from here, they carry them and dry them. You see the corner here? These are things that are expired. You see how the whole column smells? So we want you guys to know about that. So take the photo and let our people know why it's happening.
Thank you, Samson, and thank you very much, and thanks to our friends at Gompa Communications. The Maurice Ja, you say you're calling from Ganta, Gompa City. If you know anything about this, call in or tell us what the status of this. But this is, according to the video, this is the African Enterprise. I think that's the name of the business that's selling these things, and the Commerce Inspector is there as well. So I don't know how long ago this was, and if anything has been done about it. Samson and Myean, if we can open the line, let's get some calls on this and see what our people know about this. Commerce Inspector was there on site. Then he himself is expressing outrage over this. And the story is that people go in there and buy these expired goods, knowing they expire only because they can buy these things cheap. They go in there and buy them, take them out and dry them, and then sell them back to our people. That is crazy. I mean, without even smelling the thing, the way you look at those things, you can already tell those things are not fit for consumption.
Okay, so let's see what we can open the lines. If you want to put in your calls, you can put in your call 077764996, 077764996, and we also have 07779599590, 07779599590. So maybe that Peabody or anyone wants to make their own contribution on it, you can just go ahead and
maybe Hamed can talk or make a contribution. Ahmed,
he's unmuting.
Yeah. So generally we see those things happening most of the time, Peabody. Every time there's another commerce minister, we catch. They go on the speed, they catch some expired goods and stuff like that. So I think it has come to the point where we have to change the approach, as to why. Because you may be able to catch one, but then just imagine how much has slipped through the cracks in the market, particularly in a country where the health system is not anything reliable. And so there must be a different approach as to how these things. And then the first thing you want to do, in my view, is to update your prevention mechanism. How do you prevent these things from coming into the country as opposed to allowing them to come in and then you go? So we don't know whether these expired goods, whether there is a policy that says, look, it must be able to, when from the time it come in, perhaps up to the time they expect the consignment to finish, it should be 6 months or 1 year or whatever. We don't know, but I think now it's time that they take these things seriously and go beyond getting tipped off and coming in, but let there be a strong prevention policy. This reaction approach, we always do the stuff. Sometimes the damage could be, unmeasurable, and then it becomes late, So, so I think the commerce, that was a good work, but we need to go beyond that in this 21st century. People not running beyond these things, checking they prevent it from even getting into the country, establish the standard. So the first thing first, before the main input, of course, I think it goes through Commerce Ministry, get order of the paper, but it must be sure of the goods are coming, so that when the goods come, they're right there before it's offloaded. They do this inspection there. But once it infused into the market, sometimes it becomes difficult to pick it up. How much of that thing, that well might have been full. How much in small retail warehouses around the country and other places going in the southeast, going to Sando, your county, Mr. Nagbe.
Yeah. And I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry, Ahmed.
No, that's what I want to say.
Yeah. I wanted to make a distinction. Nora is saying here in America we can buy over-the-counter medication, but that's really different. I mean,
not prescribed. You can buy it, but not prescribed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really different. I think we're talking about expired, and the people on site are even saying rotten. Those. I don't care where you are. Those kind of things should not be exposed to the market. For people to still buy. And what are they going to do with them? You can't even feed those things to your animals. Let alone take them and feed them to humans. I think that's unconscionable. Something I see you got your phone, you got a call, or nobody's calling.
And that's the roasted meat and thing we see out there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
People
Exactly.
going up there buying roasted meat, roasted chicken, and those things coming from rotten,
You
rotten.
got my wife is almost throwing up, Dr. Peabody.
Yeah, yeah. And we go there, and I mean, I was in Liberia a few days, and I had one of my boy with me, and we go places. He want to eat this one. I said, bro, I'm not eating it. He said, take one. I said, no, I'm not doing it. Because you don't know what they got. I mean, look at what's happening. That's all you see around. The roasted chicken, the roasted meat, the rice they're cooking, all these kind of things they put in it. And at the end of the day, people get serious illness. You don't know where it's coming from and all of that. So I hope the inspector general not just looking at that and leaving it, but taking those things out and locking that place and throwing that thing away. It's bad. Very bad. You see.
All right. If we don't have any calls, we'll move on to our next topic. Something, no call, nothing. Myean, you got a call?
No, no.
Okay. Okay. My dear friends, welcome again to the show. So, there was in the investigator, there is an alert out for signs of Ebola outbreak in the northeast. That's my part of the world. Says there's several quarantine as Minister of Health issues alert after suspected Ebola death. This is the Liberian investigator of today. The Minister of Health has issued an urgent memorandum to county health officers in four southeastern counties after the death of a ship passenger, showing symptoms consistent with viral hemorrhagic fever, a group of deadly diseases that includes Ebola and Lassa fever. This is in the southeast. The counties concerned include River G, Grand Jita, and Nimba. Maryland, River G, Grand Jita, and Nimba. Siriki, Dr. Peabody, should we be worried here? Even though they're saying here that we have the advantage of falling back on our previous Ebola experience and all of that, but should we be worried? I think the last Ebola over, let's see here, according to this paper, the last time we about 3,000, over 3,000 deaths were recorded from the last Ebola incident. And that incident gave birth to the institute that my friend Torgbean is heading now, the Institute of Health, National Public Institute of Health. Yes, 4,800 deaths as a result of this. And now there is an alert out for another possible outbreak. A passenger from a ship reportedly died and showed signs of symptoms of Ebola.
Yeah, the thing, Mr. Nangwe, is I'm glad that they're going to have anyone in that place that Mr. Young, who is an expert in that area. I understand after they did the check, the results came back negative. I understand it was a Turkish national, I think,
Okay.
who had that. He was ill. He was from the ship, actually. They say he had died. A Turkish national from the sea had died, and they suspected that it could have been Ebola. But they said after the test was done, No, it was not Ebola. So
Okay.
of course we happy that it's negative, because if it break out there again, it will be Lord have mercy, because we really not going to. It's going to be difficult for Liberia.
Yeah.
So I mean, the best that people can do to avoid this, I'm hoping that infill will continue to move around, educating people, and go out with different testing on different depth and things like that. So I believe. I mean, thank God it was not Ebola, because we really would not be able to handle it now, because you already not eat. They already have eaten half of the Ebola funds. They not eat it all. Uh, the Ebola fund, they are eating it. They not eat the other one, the COVID fund. That one part they not eat it, because they made million from that thing. There's some money left. And I heard that they were taking it from there and putting it in different accounts to meet different needs and stuff like that. So you don't got money now. The funds or whatever that were there, they not chop it off. So you got no money now. If it break up, you'll go right back again to beg the international community again. Oh, we need help, stuff like that. So
And to tag on to your point, I mean, right now we're in a different world. We are in a different world where the international community right now, it's not an international community of
nope.
no. This is different now. There is no usage. I mean, most of the funding has dried out, and you have a guy in the White House who really is a skeptic.
Yep.
So we really hope. I'm glad that your update there are kind of giving a little bit of consolation. But I hope our people will continue, because I think they said they put people out now to do contact tracing and all of that, but luckily, thanks to that update that you gave, at least that's reassuring. I mean, you got anything on that, or we're moving on?
Well, maybe just generally, I hope, yes, the update is relieving, because certainly Liberia, no, now at this time, we lack the capacity to handle it. Liberia have never had any capacity. In fact, when the first Ebola, it wasn't because of our institution. Of course, the international community center, you have international troops on the ground helping to build quick structures and stuff like that. And, and even at that, you said 3,000 people died. So, I mean, we pray God that that should just remain as false as it is. Because, yeah, I mean,
Thank you. Okay, moving on to our next story. Samson is Myean there. He had a little bit of update on this, but as we were coming on air, there was this breaking news of a deputy minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, who is reportedly taking leave of absence because of two allegations levied against him, two separate allegations. One is that he is being accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, obviously a minor. He denies that. And then there are also allegations being levied against him of misappropriating some 200,000 funds intended for at-risk youth in Lofa. He denied that too. He said it was only $10,000 that he gave out to 100 at-risk youth at $100 a piece or so. So Myean, Samson is Myean back there. He had an update on that. He
All
thinks
right.
this.
So that story was investigated by Myean and Sai. Fortunately, Sai also in the studio to provide update on that update in our investigation they conducted. So Sai and Mark is on.
A pleasant good evening to everyone, and a pleasant good evening to our listening audience on the radio and those who are watching from in abroad and every part of the world.
All right.
Good evening, sir. Thank you and welcome on set. Go ahead. What updates do you have on this story?
Upon receiving some credible souls from within the Ministry of Youth and Sport on the Deputy Minister of Youth Development, Honorable Jerome Gayman, who is currently facing some top allegations on rape scandal of a 14-year-old minor, which the Ministry of gender just confirmed, and they are asking the Liberia National Police to quickly get involved and having arrested and further the court. Well, um, according to our source from within the ministry, the at-risk youth program that was launched some part earlier in January of 2024 to 2025 in July. Honorable Brian McGay was charged with the responsibility to take care of the at-risk youth empowerment funds in Lofa County, where some huge amount of money was given to him to disperse on the at-risk youth, closely around 200,000. The disbursement was to be done in two funds. One, to provide a start-up business for the at-risk youth, and two, to have them rehabilitated, take them from the street, send them to rehabilitation home, and then empower them again. A little over of 150 United States dollars to be disbursed to each at-risk youth. So when we get the information, we try to reach out to Honorable J. Brian McGee, but we call him, talk to him, text him, and unfortunately, his response was, I'm sick now. I can respond. You can remove whatever you want to run. And I was like, oh wow, that's great, and I appreciate that response from him. So we follow up more. We spoke with few of the guys from Lofa County who expressed disappointment in the way he treated them on that particular day. Took them in the hall.
Oh, we lost him. Did we lost him?
According to them, according to him, he had them in the hall and gave them each of them $100, which was a lie. The minister did one in Lofa County with the impression of having town hall engagement with the young people, not exactly at risk youth, but rather these young people, young people, those that are in a normal mind, those are capable of doing what they can do, not quote unquote what we call them zogos. When in Lofa County, Zozo specifically, and interact there with few young people, approximately 30 to 40 of them, and disperse a little amount of what he was giving to be given and to those young people. So with that, we talked to him, we reached out to him, but he refused. And up to now, there's no accountability of that particular money. Imagine even the current boss that is being used by the ministry, that particular boss was to be using Lofa County for the arrest youth. And the boss is being used by the ministry for the employees. So up now, there's no accountability of that funds, and we are still digging deeper to understand where the minister took that particular money and what they use it for.
How much is the money we're talking about here?
We're talking about approximately 200,000 United States dollars.
Wait, in a one period time, please come again. He went to Lofa with 200,000 to go devour on people. Is that what you're saying?
So the project, the president launched the At Risk Youth project in all part of Liberia. Drugs is a key in this country now. Every sector is fighting drugs, and through the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the president launched the At Risk Youth, and in every county, at least 100 or 200 of young people should benefit from that particular project. So I think the ministry, um, through the minister, gave him that particular sector, which is Lofa County, to deal with it, to to make sure that the at-risk youth is reached out to there, and they benefit from the at-risk youth project. So approximately about 200,000 and more was given to him to reach out to the young people, to deal with the at-risk youth, to have them rehabilitated, give them a start-up business, after the rehabilitation process, and then they come back to the ministry, and then they give them a startup, small startup business money, at least $150 per person, not $100. But in here, respond when we wrote the story, this bros $100 per person, which was not to be like that, and that wasn't true at all. It was to be $150 per person. Those who benefited from the project, those who went on the rehabilitation process, completed, graduated, and was ready to start business on their own, and no, so that was it. Approximately about 200,000.
So there's a rehabilitation center in Lofa County.
Of course, but not up to standard like you think it will be. I think it's just somewhere around where they have to gather them for that particular time. The government had an area there where they have young people, those who believe from the at-risk youth that is so they were taken care of in Lofa County.
Yeah, but the thing is, the minister. So what is the issue with the RIP now with the minister? You said the general minister did an investigation and said that he should be arrested. Is that true?
So after this RIP, this whole RIP incident, Myean will provide more update, but this whole incident began in August. This little girl father worked with the military as a security, and I think every afternoon she go to her dad with meal, and she and this me and her dad separate work. So the minister began to notice her. I think he began to eye or something like that. And some in August this incident occurred, but with he began to suppress the family with cash. He have money, he have everything. The family shouldn't speak out and threaten the father of the girl that if he speak out, he might lose his job and go to jail. But God does everything for the rightful time. And today it broke up, and now every government official is condemning the act. Now the Ministry of Gender did a press release and confirmed that yes, this little girl was raped by Mr. J. Brian
Well,
Myean
how do
as
they know? Do they have a medical record or anything to that effect? Or this girl was ever taken to hospital to authenticate it that she was raped? Hospital reporting that this child was raped. I mean, I don't know how the Minister of Gender can just come out and conclude and say this child was raped without even doing the due diligence. First thing when you found out when the report came up, Minister of Gender should have firstly intervened. Minister of Children, and what it is, they should have gone there, pick this child up, take them to do a comprehensive medical examination to know whether the child was actually raped and all of that. So I don't know.
Normally before the ministry come out with a statement, they have to do all of that. So yes, of course, there is a medical report, and is in the possession of the family as well, and as well as the gender ministry. So with that medical report, yes, before they can come out with their own statement. So yes, there is a medical report that shows that the girl was raped.
Okay, so they do have medical report to authenticate that they did a comprehensive medical.
Yeah, and thanks to Sa there. Yeah, in the reporting, they said here a medical exam confirmed signs of sexual harassment. So it looks like they did do a medical examination.
It's a sign of sexual harassment.
Yeah, that's how the paper put it.
But it didn't say sign of sexual abuse.
No.
You know, so that's not a medical report because sexual harassment is different from sexual abuse. You know, sexual harassment is attempting to engage the person and lure them into sex and stuff like that. You know, sexual abuse is forcefully trying to have already done. The act have already taken place. If you were sexually abused and stuff like that. You know, so
So,
I just
so
go ahead.
for what the Minister of Youth and Sport, Ko Bangalo, said today was the guy was actually he said that it is confirmed that one of his deputies is involved in a rape scandal, and he also called it on his deputy to take a leave in facing police investigation. So, and the general ministry report too is also confusing because they indicated there saying sexual harassment. So, like what other people are saying, when you say sexual harassment, it means the person probably she's underage and he started making an attempt on her, probably using some cash to convince her. And when you say sexual abuse, it means you forcefully make an attempt on her. So I think the general ministry need to come up with more clarity to provide an extra explanation on what they mean. But for local team, I don't think that statement on sexual harassment meant rape.
Yeah, I don't know if the paper is not trying to be euphemistic here, by not trying to be trying to be euphemistic, not trying to reveal what was found. But I don't know a medical examination in this case here. What else do they examine? Don't they examine the child's private parts to see, if there been any signs of tampering? I believe that's. But again, you guys are right. We shouldn't be assuming. I think the language here needs to be much clearer.
I think that's the part is, in a case like that, you will conduct a comprehensive medical examination,
right?
Based on the hospital or the finding. They got expert. I don't know about like here, but they do have like expert here in the U.S. I worked as an investigator for a couple of years before leaving with the New Jersey Department of Children. They have places in New Jersey that we would normally take that child once they will go through the investigation. I mean, the first thing is the medical examination.
Right.
We call in detective. They will come in and will take that child and will do that investigation to determine if the act occurred or not. But the thing is, I think Mr. Nagbe, I think Myean had a tape. I don't know what he still has that tape, but some kind of recording in regards to that. So we are for now we are just alleging. I mean, it's not about people saying, "Oh yeah, the child got raped and the child was raped." But you got to have, because that's a serious offense, right there.
Yeah,
serious offense.
This is not the kind of offense you want to take guessing game at.
Yeah, exactly. It's very serious. So you rather want to know that this happened rather than people just sitting there condemning. Oh yeah, the man raped the child. When one person say it and then the wrong the story. But you got to have what the people are saying in the court are proponents of evidence to show that it was raped. You got to have it. If you don't have it, then So I don't know. Myean had a recording. I mean, I don't know with the Department of Children and Gender, the Ministry of Gender Affairs.
Okay. Something Myean there. Does he have the recording queued? Thank you. You're muted. We can't hear you.
Sensei, you're muted.
All right, let me call Myean. He has the recording and the video. So let me call him.
What's the recording about, though?
But while we went to that recording, for me, because rape and its allegations of no tolerance.
Yep.
It's just unfortunate that such a situation could occur. I will hope that, as the ministry said, we should give the police the chance to do its work. I will hope they give it some expeditious attention and bring it to an end. I will also think that the general ministry needs to be more active in these kinds of situations. I mean, I just imagine how many people out there who, because oftentimes in our society, issue of rape are one that even the victim become a little embarrassed to talk about, or the family, they don't really want to bring it out, because I understand that it happened since August, and I think today is the 11th of September. So, I mean, and they were all in a close proximity, whatever the case may be. It means that the gender ministry also need to step up its game in responding and addressing these rape allegations and stuff like that. I think, of course, the ministry took the right step to ask Mr. McGill to step aside and focus on the case. I think that's a good step because, but of course, he remains innocent as per our law. The only thing now is that perhaps if there is evidence that indeed a child was raped and she points to him, I think our law will, I think with the rape law now means if he's arrested on those charges, it will mean that he goes to jail without an billable option. So that's how serious that matter is. That is why, of course, it's not good to speculate, because beyond the issue of reputational damage, it has serious incarceration punishment, because when you go in, you're there, and if your case doesn't come on the docket anytime soon, you'll be there as long as that time comes about. And of course, rape cases are not one of those cases anybody will want to easily come around, mess around. So, well, we just hope that the situation will be expeditiously investigated by the police, and wherever the truth lies, so be it. But the issue about 200,000, I mean, we always create all kinds of means for people to just steal money. Let's be honest with you. Nobody here that injured. You put 200,000 cash in a man's hand to just go share on people. Don't you put him in a temptation to take some of the money, particularly so when they quote unquote the people in whom he should give the money, they can be NM people. No system, because if there was a system, you could pay by mobile money, you could pay through the bank will have those people number and pay, but you just give a man to travel from Morovia to Lofa with $200,000 in his bag. People stands online and he starts to pay money, and then you think you want to have a very serious, accountable process from that. I think the fault should also lie in how government spends money on programs. That's not a program. That's a money-making scam for the government. You didn't call that thing program. What rehabilitation? The man is still taking drug, gain 150. Of course, what you have done is that you have only put additional $100 or more in a drugs cartel hand, because they're going right back. He carry people for 3 weeks, they take money. So we should stop these things, We can't be creating avenues for people to steal when they steal, either because certain people who should have gotten some share of that stealing money didn't get it, then they raise it up. Because nowhere, no responsible process can happen like that. Even if you have workers working for you and you have to pay over $20,000 in wages or salary or money, you don't want to be walking around to pay your definitely have read it to some banks on it. That was about government. You take money from a bank, put it in somebody else to go pay. How is that? That for me, I see that as a complete scam, a syndicate involves stealing. Now, that is where then we see people taking advantage of the issue about the drugs to make money out of it. So the Brian McGill thing, yes, he should give accountability, but I think it's a whole bigger snake more than that. In fact, according to the boss, he was assigned to that county. I mean, there are other people assigned to different counties who come back with back kick money to whoever assigned them. That's wrong. So if you time 200,000 by 15 counties, and you don't even know that there have been any effect on a drug thing. What are the institutions in, for example, let's say in Grand Crew that you have rehabilitate people? What are the institutions in even the very low-fat? And you put 200,000 in somebody and you say they will come out with accountability paper sheet. I get a poor son, I get a PDP son. We're joking in our country with our taxpayer money.
You say disbursed by mobile money. That's what the minister. But he says only $10,000, not 200,000.
Oh, you disperse it to the people. But then if he did mobile money is verifiable, he can go to Lone Star or whatever. That is verifiable. So that shouldn't be. But the point is that if that is the approach in fighting drug, they never quote unquote Zogo people who taking drug, put in somewhere, then from there you go get them money to start business. Is that the way? No, you understand that man back because people go through relapse and they relapse 2-3 times. Immediately, man country they even so they say go do business. Most of the people who go to drug not because they do it because they lack the means. It becomes an addiction. Even wealthy people go and become addicted to it. So doing business is not an immediate solution. The solution is to ensure this man is off drugs and not just 3 or 4 day program. That's what that thing really. I mean, that Peabody up there in that whole field alone. I mean, you know more than I do when it comes to the process of rehabilitating someone who perhaps have been an addict for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. 2 or 2 weeks can solve that problem. You know, so I don't know, man. It's frustrating to be honest.
It can't solve it. It can't solve it. So it's just a way of getting money and somebody chopping. Because people work just to steal, especially when it comes to a lot of people in the Liberian government. Soon they see a big money and they get crazy, and the next thing to think about is to get the share out of it. That was nothing happened, nothing good happens, because the first thing to think about is to get a share out of it. You know, so it's not going. It's not going to work. I mean, it's not going to take place. You know, on that $10,000 issue and all of that. But I hope Myean can come back with that tip, Mr. Nagbe, and then.
Yeah, that Samson is saying Myean's trying, but I think he's facing some challenges with his internet. So they're working on it. But let's welcome Robert. Robert to the show. Robert, thanks for joining us. We're discussing this breaking news. The Minister of Youth and Sports, where the Deputy Minister is taking a leave of absence because he's being accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, according to the update we just got. Apparently, her father works for the ministry as a security, and so she comes there to see him. You know, I guess drop off his food or whatever. And so it is alleged that this is how the minister came in contact with her. Plus, he's also being accused of misappropriating some $200,000 that was intended for at-risk youth rehab in Lofa. You can chime in.
I mean, great to be on. Great to join all of you. And good evening, a good afternoon, good night, depending on where you're watching from. But listen, I understand that some people have said innocent until proven guilty, which is correct. But from everything that we've gathered, you know, I think that I don't think the government has the Ministry of Youth and Sports. I don't think they've acted swiftly on this issue. They've not applied any sense of urgency or importance on this issue. The minister is taking a leave of absence instead of being dismissed. The Ministry of Youth and Sport, I think, is a critical entity of any government, and sometimes we underestimate the Ministry of Youth and Sports. When we think about youth and sports, most of the time we think about that ministry being the liaison between the government and the LFA or the FA when it comes to Lone Star. That's not it. I think that's a limitation of what that body actually is, or what their responsibilities are. It's not just about sports. They pertains to youth development and sports. And sports is not just football. It's not just Lone Star. It encompasses a lot of different things. And so it's important that you have people, men and women, of character, and men and women, not just character, but impeccable character. And from all indication, the Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports, has have issues in the past when it comes to his character. And so whether or not he's had his day in court, I think that a responsible government, again, on these issues, you act swiftly. You know, this young lady have said that she was raped. So what other information do they need? Of course, they have to go through all of the processes, but what other information do they need to say, yeah, we believe? I mean, there's no reason why she would make this up, right? There's no reason why she would make this up. So I would have appreciated had the government or the Ministry of Youth and Sports said, listen, even though we cannot determine whether or not this guy is guilty because he, like any other citizen, is required due process. But given the gravity or the magnitude of this accusation, I think it's best that we dismiss him and let him go and have his day in court and clear his name. If he went through the process in court and the court deem if whatever otherwise that based on the evidence to say he wasn't guilty and the government deem it necessary to rehire him, that's so be it. But why would you allow him to take a leave of absence without any suspension whatsoever? Why a young girl, is another victim of abuse by people, by powerful people, by government people who should be in position to protect them. You know, I mean, this is sickening. This is not the first time we've seen this happen. Grown men. I mean, this is becoming a norm in Liberia. And it seems like every time these things happen, the government does nothing to protect young girls and youth in that country. And it's wrong. It's wrong. We need to take these kinds of allegations and these kinds of accusations seriously. We need to do that, you know. And on top of that, if there are any other information when it comes to his integrity, I think people need to look at it. This is more reason why he should be dismissed immediately. That's what I would have done. That's exactly what I would have done. So it's unfortunate what goes on in Liberia. It's unfortunate what the kinds of reactions that comes from the government when these things happen. Same thing happened with the LDA. When partisan of the chief and others were justifying the suspension of a man that we've heard on live tip say the things that he said, threaten folks who were only doing their jobs. They said, well, the man required due process, so the suspension was needed. But the president thought otherwise. After we came on radio and we said, this is not enough. This is not enough. It's not everything that due process fine. This person requires due process. But sometimes as a government, you've got to send a very clear message. And you got to be very explicit in sending these messages. That listen, there are certain things we have zero tolerance for. And when it comes to rape and all of these things, especially in a country where it seems like a norm, the government have got to send the right message. This guy should be dismissed. He should not be allowed to take a leave of absence. He should be dismissed and go out there and clear his name. He should be dismissed and sent for prosecution. That's what I expected the government to do. And so if they're talking about $200,000 that were used or misappropriated, that adds to all of this stuff. He has no credibility. He has no integrity. So why are you still keeping him around? Why? I mean, it's unfortunate.
No, but Mr. Dangwa, let me check on Robert to your point here. You can't just conclude when somebody say they raped them or this person raped me. You can't just conclude that it's the fact. You know, it has to be, again, there has to be a comprehensive medical examination to determine if the child was actually raped. She just said, I mean, and based on that medical, you can go and arrest the person. But I think what step the government took in suspending this guy was until he worked on the case. It could come back to find out that it's not true. It could be, you can't, because the only evidence you have to show is that medical examination that authenticate, that substantiate that this child was actually raped. If there's no substantiation, then I mean, I'm not saying it's bad if it happened, but it's an allegation. So suspension is good for now until we get all the medical report back substantiating that this child was actually raped. There are evidence to show that this child was actually touched or sexually molested in a way, and then that would determine the next step is to indict him and send him to court. But why if they go do a medical and there's nothing, there's no substantiation that the child had even been raped or touched? So I think I suspending him to deal with his case. They should have even given him leave of absence to go and deal with the case, still unpaid until they have medical record to prove that this actually happened. Because we know our country. Sometimes people get set up for these things. Sometimes people, I'm playing the devil advocate here. Sometimes people get set up for these things. Sometimes people lie on people for doing this thing and all of that. So there are two sides to every story. The first thing a good investigator would do on a case like this is to go to the house and talk to every party involved, everybody in that home, from the mom, the dad, the child, and everything, and reach out to also the perpetrator of the crime and also talk to them and everything that is involved. So it's a complex thing. Like Otto has said, rape is a very complex thing that can embarrass people, can send you to jail for a length of time. So it requires a lot of cautions in doing the investigation and things like that. Not just somebody saying, "Oh, you ripped me," "Oh, that man ripped me." Then everybody come on, "Okay, moving." We got ready, play the game by the rule.
Yeah, but Doc, you got to before the government makes any decision when it comes to suspension or dismissal. I think there are a few things that are considered, and I think the government, the ministry, have had time to consider these things, right? Listen, no one can, say that this guy is guilty pending all of the information that you just mentioned, and I concur with that. What I am saying here is the government have not even suspended this guy. They accepted his request for a leave of absence. So without him requesting a leave of absence, there were no initial action taken on by the ministry or by extension the government. So had he not asked for a leave of absence, they would have said, you know what, you can go ahead and continue doing your job, pending whatever. Secondly, this young lady, look, I understand that there are people who are set up, but then there are also ulterior motives here. And the question is, what is there to be gained? What does this young girl stand to gain from making up this story against this minister? If you look at the little girl and all the information that we've gathered so far, there is absolutely nothing yet to gain. I can understand if there's a relationship and there are things to gain, and a potential slant or whatever the case is. There is nothing yet to gain. This young lady does not have a record of making up lies about being touched or being raped. So all of the I've done my due diligence, and from all indications, she comes from a pretty decent background. She has no record of these things. So my thing is, we don't often protect even potential victims. So even if you assume that nothing is done until medical examinations are done and thorough investigations are taking place, we still have to protect this young lady. We have to protect it. The government has done nothing so far to even encourage victims of rape to step forward to tell their stories. We see these things happen, and you know what? I'm one of those who will say, you know what? That doesn't sound right. That does not. But what is yet to gain from making up a story on this guy? On top of that, Doc, he has a tainted record. This is a man who does not have any integrity. Why would you use money meant for something else? So when you look at all of these things, it points more to the person who does not have no credibility, no integrity here. And if I had to take a side, even without all of these investigative report, I would think that this little girl is telling the truth as opposed to thinking they're lying on him. So again, the government have got to act, protect victims, right? And Take a stand. I've seen instances where people have been dismissed so that they can go and clear their name. People have resigned. Why he didn't resign? To say, you know what? I don't want any negative impact from these allegations on this government. I will do the right thing and resign and go and clear my name. After I've done that, I can come back and serve in other capacity. He didn't do that. The government has not suspended him. He asked for a leave of absence, and they accepted his leave of absence. There have been no action from this government to say we do not condone these kinds of acts, and there's zero tolerance for these things.
But why you said that when they come back, he's innocent about this case? So the
I doubt he's innocent. I doubt he's innocent.
I don't think we should jump to judgment. I think we should wait for the due diligence until they are able to present. I mean, for me, I condemn any act of rape. I condemn that. But equally so, we have to do our due diligence to show whether the person is actually the perpetrator of the crime or not. We still have to do our due diligence. I think the first step that he took was to resign. I mean, to ask for leave of absence to take on the case. I think it's a good step. The government can always take action if they have evidence linking him to the case. They can always take action and fire him and do something. But the first step, it's a I have this issue. I want to take a leave of absence and deal with it. So let's see how the facts going to come out, how the investigation going to take place. And again, you need forensic evidence and others to prove that this thing happened, and stuff like that. I'm not saying she's lying, 14 years old. She will not be lying and stuff like that. But you never know. The problem here is our country is too gullible. I'm hearing two sides of the story. I'm hearing about other things happening. This guy is in a position. There's a lot of funds coming in that he's going to be controlling. And other people don't like it from the ministry. Now they're coming on with stories and things like that. That's one side of the story. But my point here is let the investigation take place and let's see what happened. It's very easy. There'll be other things connected to this. And if that is true, but you see this thing happening a lot,
Let me ask you this, Dr. Peabody. In your, and I know your investigations that you did them on this side, but will DNA testing be part of the investigation that they will do to link this man? Because they say the examination, medical exams.
They can do a medical examination to determine if this child has some kind of penetration or not. They can do investigate just if the comprehensive. If you the whole physical you're doing, you go up there, you'll meet with the doctors, the expert. They will take you into this place. They will strip you naked, and you go through all the exam and do everything and stuff.
Right. So, because the only examination I'm thinking about would be that kind. I don't know if they'll be looking for scratches on the body, and I don't think that's. I don't want to assume that. On the other hand, I hear Robert's argument. I think he is saying.
So Myean said the video is ready.
Okay, thank you. The ministry allowed this guy to take a leave of absence, as opposed to the ministry himself acting to suspend him. I think that's the point Robert is making.
But there's a number. I don't know to what extent that other conspiracy is being constructed when it says probably there is a setup on Brian. We're all saying that he committed a crime. We're all saying anything, hoping, waiting for the police. But I just don't see how could that be, because who the father will want his child to be used as a pawn in creating a scheme on a minister? I mean, 14 years old. She became, I understand, a part of a picture already on Facebook, trending. Who the father will want to? I mean, if there was an older person, maybe who you say the woman lied, because at the end of the day, she will have some direct benefit, probably. But how can a 14-year-old be used in a scheme that you will tell us to go lie on this man? Because
and the father stands nothing to benefit. He stands nothing immediately to benefit if this guy goes down.
But correction. Our own Myean here is reporting that the picture that is circulating is fake. That you said we should be careful with whatever picture we see As far as you know, based on their reporting, they have not released that child's photo. I just want to.
But the father admitted that the photo is on Facebook, but the face was not showing.
Okay. But let's talk about it on the other side. Let's talk about it on the other side of the thing. Let's continue our discussion after the clip.
Yeah, let's see the video. It's interesting.
Myean, something. Is there any way we can? It's not audible.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
I can't hear it. We can't hear it.
It's very noisy.
Okay, let me try and play the one that was
okay.
Interview. I mean the recording for the father. But let me try and play the other one where.
What's the recording about?
This is the recording where he was narrating the entire story. Because according to him, when this incident took place, the girl was not open up to explain what happened. So he was the one who was narrating the story. How they managed to know how everything happened it was in this recording where he narrated everything. Was the time when at the office yesterday.
Wait, who?
Yeah,
who
so
narrated?
Who
are narrating?
The girl father, his name is Christopher. Okay. Her father.
Don't call his father.
Her father.
Don't call her father. Do not call her father's name.
Okay. So let me see. I think it was more.
Breathe. I will call you out. You want to do somebody? I will get back 10 minutes. I just see coming in. So you're not there. I told you. I've got it. No one just after you step in. So one day there was some I think the past is that coming out. Who is here? Okay, so the police is very the police station. They phone the police. Something like that was like nothing. I see. So she said, I'm not expecting. What I'm going to do about the station is perfect. So you are coming. I was coming and little back. One little was coming. Pass by me. And so I recognized the little back. I said, yes, so let's go back to the bus. I guess you can go to the bus. Let's go back. I come. So I go in. What about that coming? I started. I said, yeah. I said, chopping. He said, yeah. I said, go and start talking. Come there to I said, what do you do? He said, I don't know. What are you? like that over it was the Lord has really good. So when the feminist has to get into it, and it was a la pena. So what happened? Afterwards, now there was 6 months. Oh my God, that's what. It's not that so she started crying. And we have one in the other supporting us that we woke up. He said, what happened? What is not the he said that the power will be work. The power will be work. So he said,
yeah, Myean, thank you. I don't know if it is me, but I can hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear a lot of it.
Yeah, if he can tell us what is being said, just summarize it, then that will help because I didn't hear anything.
That might be
Mine, if you can just summarize what is being narrated, that would be good.
According to the father, according to the father, he said that this girl, she usually go maybe around the community to go and walk about, but suddenly when she told her father that she was going to Boulevard, and then her father asked her, why is it that you going there for? And then she told us, someone said they wanted to see me. Her father said, okay, no problem. So at certain point in time, he started to notice something. So he called. When he called her, then he heard the man's voice behind. So he asked her, he said, but are you who there? And then it was her, she couldn't talk. So when they came home, later he stopped her along the highway. So he noticed something when he went ahead. Because according to him, he said when he called her, she was not coming on time. So he went ahead just to go on the road junction to see whether he can be able to find her along the way. So when he saw the car, it was her. He called her. He told her, but what are you doing on this side? Later about hour. So she told her father, say, but I came for something. I just her father brought her home, and then he said he wanted to beat her on her. So she went to her grandmother. She explained to her grandmother, say, my father won't beat me. So her grandmother said, no, but I will not beat you, but what happened? So she was like afraid to explain it to her grandmother. So her father said, but you tell her if she didn't explain, I will beat her tonight. So that fear was in her until the grandmother went and tortured her until she could confess to her grandmother. So they asked her who the person that did it. She never wanted to call the person's name. So after like few times, and then our father called her personally and asked her was how she was able to narrate and call this fellow name. And then today I have a recording that is clear where today we call him again, and then he said that they are trying to plan a certain way that they can be able to drop this case, because according to him, he said they are not seeing any solution in this whole case because some people are trying to make it like a political case or something. But let me see where we can listen to this one.
Yeah, I still listen. I didn't hear any news yet. I'm trying to call out to the police and to find Colombo Central and other places. Nobody responding to me. I don't know. I don't want to hear this case. Reach out to them with your call. I call him and they're not responding. Will they give you specific number? Yeah, I have the boss's number. The number is in my phone. I called them when the case started. They used to answer me on this call. But now I'm calling them. None of them answering me. And because I want to ask them how far the case now. What did they do with the case? So this time I'm supposed to be dealing with the case. can be passing a liar.
So you know what you do?
No.
Send me their number. Is it possible?
Yeah, I can send you number.
Yeah, send me their number because you know what, B? We ain't come back to the ministry. The ministry is about to suspend either today or tomorrow.
To suspend him?
Yeah, it's supposed to suspend. The minister confirmed it. He said it's supposed to suspend. So, yeah. I'm running after you. I'm talking. Now a bag is on fire.
Okay.
Yeah, the minister I called the minister today and confirmed it. And he told me that hopefully today or tomorrow they will issue a letter of suspension.
Alright.
So just send me those people number from the LMP and all those articles. So I'm gonna check out to know how far.
Okay. Alright.
So the father is also saying that they are trying to step on this entire issue, because since the girl was able to call the man's name, others are shaving blame on them, saying that it is false, and they are trying to go against this fellow because of some other political reason. That's why. But we are still trying to talk to him. We are still in conversation with him to be able to give all that space that we can see, if possible, that we can go and meet with this girl, because he promised us that we will be able to do that, but it's just a matter of time to be able to meet.
Y'all don't interview the girl because this is
no. We are not putting her on record, but just to narrate to us actually the story.
I won't do it because this is a criminal case and investigation, and to go and interview the little child and all of that, I won't do it because she could say some things that could go against her, and that could, so I won't do that. Really.
Yeah, but that the problem. This is the problem. This is the reason why I'm outraged when it comes to the government's action, because we live in a country where, people who are considered a nobody, people who are poor, they're not financially strong or relevant. Normally, we already know what happens in these cases. You have a 14-year-old young girl who is considered a nobody. You have a father who probably has no money, right? He does not have the kind of influence that the deputy minister has, and he does not have the financial power to hire an attorney. We should not be the one, cautioning our reporters when it comes to doing interviews. This should be the attorney of the family, protecting this family when it comes to what to say and what not to say. The media's responsibility is to try to get as much information as possible, right? So that the general public is aware of what's happening in this case. But this is the total opposite of what's happening. This family apparently does not have the funds to hire an attorney. Secondly, the father has to call our reporter to get updates on where the case is, when in fact a detective from the Liberia National Police, who specializes in sex crime, should be handling this case, doing an investigation, updating the family on where they are, whether charges will be filed. The general ministry should also be involved in trying to protect this young lady, understanding exactly what happened to her, and so forth and so on, treating her like a true victim. This is not the case. This is the reason why I'm so outraged when it comes to these allegations. Yes, this person deserves due process, and I can't take that away from them. My fear is the country we live in. We live in a country where poor people have absolutely no say. And this is the reason why these grown men, influential men, they prey on these types of family. This is the reason why. Do you think this guy would have gone for someone who is influential, who has money? Do you think he would have done that to that person's 14-year-old daughter? Absolutely not. The father asked the little girl, "Where are you going?" "Oh, someone wants to see me." Do you think that would have happened in a home where there's structure? Can my 14-year-old telling me that someone wants to see her? and I don't care to find out who that person is, I'm not going to sit here on national radio and blame the parent. There are structural parental issues. But again, when you have a father like that, and you have a family like that, who is most worried about putting food on the table for his daughter, trying to send his kids to school? A lot of these things happen, and these lapses occur. But the government does nothing to protect these families who have no power, who have no influence whatsoever. Can you imagine this father is thinking about dropping the kids because the Liberia National Police have not updated them on what's going on? No one seems to care what's happening. No updates on the investigation, and none of these things happening. And the government does not do anything to protect this young girl. It's gonna be a decade.
Yeah, let me just emphasize the point. And I think now I do understand where you're coming from. Listening to the father, I mean, no father, no parent should have to deal with that, because in the first place, look, man, come on, you're wondering as to whether in the first place there will be justice for the reporter to tell the father, oh, they're about to dismiss so it means they kept him incommunicado completely.
Absolutely.
Perhaps had it not been the media push on this matter, probably would have been a dead one. I would think so. Because this man works at the very ministry, but it took somebody, the reporter, whoever that was in the recording, to say they're about to tournament, don't give up. I mean, what is that? And like I said, for something to have happened from the 30th, the kids were in the police custody. Up to now, there have not been any arrest, there have not been any invitation. Like, okay, this thing happened. We're not saying what is just sad to it. Nothing. Probably they have not even spoken to the girl. According to the release from the police just wrote them. It was only because it became highlighted in the media. I think Variety paper pick it up, and then we're talking about other shows talking about it. So what in case? Or what about those many rape cases that are not up to reach the media landscape for us to talk about? When people find themselves in power and influence, that is when situations of this nature, be it true or false, must be taken seriously. So that the message we send across is that your power or your money is no excuse to do these things. Like I said, for me personally, I wouldn't sit on this thing to think that he is guilty. But I'm just saying there are some concrete steps we should take as a government and as a people when these situations come, particularly so when it's already in the purview of the national police. If these are one isolated case in a corner, probably you say, but for the father to say the police have stopped picking up his call, he's calling them, they can't give him anything. So just imagine the agony which he was dealing with. I'm sure he felt very rejected. One, his daughter have committed a crime that to any father that says to you, a failure in yourself, that you have failed, then probably his own condition, not being capable maybe 100% to provide for his family, it brings all back to him. So he's going through a lot of trauma to deal with that situation. He couldn't protect his daughter. And then finally it becomes somebody
who
he called.
No, I mean, if I was involved in the case. You can hear me?
Yeah, I think his internet is going, but we can hear you.
If I was involved in the case, yeah, internet going.
Yeah, internet going.
I think Hammer is struggling.
If I was involved in the case, what I see here, firstly, the dad would let the 14-year-old child say she's going somewhere and let her go and go places late in the evening and stuff like that. What I see here is somebody sleeping with him. Okay.
He's talking, but he doesn't know that he's kind of in and out.
Okay,
go ahead. I think you got to come out and come back.
You know why it appears to me, adult having something with a minor, because this girl ran away. When she came back, when her dad tried to engage her, she ran away and went to her grandmother. Not until the dad, investigated her, asked her a couple of questions and things like that, before she came back and said, that he did this to me, or he did that to me. So, it's wrong, and it's unfortunate that you have grown people, grown men, grandfather and great-grandfather, all they want to do especially in Monrovia, for kids that are very vulnerable, is to sleep with these kind of babies, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old in that country, and to do that. Secondly, on the other hand, parents too, I know things are hard. It doesn't matter how difficult, how poor you are. You also should provide that safe haven for your children, because those kids look to you for the protection and things that they want to do. And you're letting your child go out that kind of time, and you're calling her late in the night and stuff like that, without even knowing or having an idea where your child is going. I mean, it appears to me, that because in a real serious investigation that involved parents, this parent could be substantiated, for neglect. There could be the inadequate supervision of the child. There could be substantiated for inadequate supervision. It means that you let the 14-year-old go out and stay there 10, 12 in the night. Anything could happen to that child, But I hope the investigation will be swift and to find out. But if I was looking at it from a different perspective, I would say this guy slept with a minor. That's why it looks like that it's because the child came back and was afraid to even report to her dad that she'd been out there and somebody had molested her, an adult had molested her. Something I think is wrong. Unfortunately, we're not the kind of society that is equipped to really protect the kind of children. The gender ministry maybe have been there, and they should be in contact with the parents, letting them know what's going on, how the investigation is going, and what's happening on a constant basis to let them know. But now they should have been talking to this child, ensuring that this child is not even in the home with the parents, because it was in that home that child ran away to go somewhere and to be molested. The child will not even be in the home. They'll put her somewhere and she'll go through some, I'm trying to talk for my American standard now, but I think it was wrong, and I think they need to update the parents on what is going on, and I just hope they'll have an investigation and to find out if this guy is involved, let him face the full consequences of the law. There should be it's a non-negotiable when it comes to things like that. There should be no, this guy should put a jail.
Mr. Nagbe, before you come in, even if he slept with her, let's assume that she even agreed. Let me go that far. Let's assume that she even agreed and she said, okay, yeah, you can go and sleeping with a 14-year-old girl. This guy looked like he's past 50 years old. That's statutory rape. So even if she agreed and she ran away and she went to go and see this old man, and she says, yeah, go ahead and you can sleep with me. I gave you permission to do that. As an adult, you should understand, especially as a youth and sports minister, you should understand, even if she said, yeah, no, I can't. You
and the guy right here in the right era, Minister of Youth and Sports.
Yeah, you're a 14-year-old, you're not 20 or 21. At that age, you shouldn't be sleeping with no 14-year-old girl. This is the kind of thing that happen in our country. And let's be clear. This minister, if that was my daughter, that fool would be in jail by now. If that was your daughter, this guy would not be roaming around. And I don't care who he is. But again, this guy seems to be, he's underprivileged. He got no influence. In Liberia is who you know and what, and it's not. Listen, this is sad. This is why we have government. In these cases, government should protect these young women. They should protect these families, even families that don't have the resources to acquire attorneys. The government should be protecting them. They should be doing thorough investigations. They should be in contact with the family. The family, they don't have to be calling a media entity this on where the case is or whether or not the ministry is about to fire or suspend this person. Clearly, this guy, if it wasn't for the media, this case would end up nothing because they're nobody. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. I think that was one of the reasons we wanted to highlight this case today. I think you've thrown a lot food for thought in this. And I hope even our audience members who are watching us, if there's anything you can do to help us lift this case and give it the attention it deserves, so that justice is served to this family, please do. I see the former minister, Ms. Cassell, Julia, is watching. Thanks for joining us, Julia. If you can add anything to the discourse, I believe you still, know your way around government. Please do help the family. I think they need help. I think everyone is pointing out here from the short interview with her. Yeah, the father, he seems to be, seems to be grabbing for help. He's not. I don't think there's even a loop to say he's not in the loop. Sounds like somebody is somewhere down the stairwell or something, giving some quick update or something when he should be sitting at the table, and where the hard questions are being asked. And so the one thing I'll say though, Robert, it looks like the ministry actually acted to suspend him as opposed to he himself taking a voluntary leave of absence. But either way, I agree with you.
No, they said we've accepted his request. They had, in the release, the official release, they said we have accepted his request for a leave of absence, and we're forwarding this to the Liberia National Police.
Liberia National, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was reading what's in the Liberian Investigator, but yeah. So, but I think we should keep on this case. We'll keep following. I'm also very happy that our reporters, on the ground there, they all seem to be very, very much, engaged.
They did an excellent job. Excellent work.
Absolutely. So I like to commend them. I like to commend them and and encourage them to please keep on this case so that we'll follow it and continue to shine light on it. So that it sees the light of day and it's not just tossed away. All right, gentlemen. I know Mr. Gayman, Jerome likes long show. I like short show. We'll soon be ending. We got one more topic here that unless you got something else, but
maybe we're gonna take some calls. Yeah, we can end at 8:00.
Okay. Then let's take a few calls and then we'll do one.
We'll do our person. Yeah.
Myean and Samson, if you guys are there.
So you have one more topic, right?
Yeah, I do. There is an EU Sahel envoy in the country. It is said here that he came to warn Liberia on the possible regional spillover. That I think the Sahel countries are experiencing now, including our next door neighbor Ghana. And so I think he came here to sound a warning so that our people can take proactive measures because it is coming and it will come. I mean, we've seen the Burkina Faso here already. We're in the Sahel region. So let's take a few calls and then we'll close on our topic if our guys will open the lines. Any issue, especially this issue with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, if there's anyone who wants to call in and offer, if they're there. I don't see any of them coming on yet.
Yeah, while we're waiting on them to come, I just wanted to take a few minutes. Listen, I see seditionists are attacking and throwing personal attacks at the former youth and sports minister, and I just thought to just caution them. It's not everything that you have to respond to. All of this internal fights, what it does is it weakens the party. And I think that the leadership of the party at some point needs to speak up. If you listen,
at Zioga, who did
Zoga Wilson, he did an interview. He did an interview on Intel Sports where he talked about the successes and one of his disappointments as minister. He talked about what the government did in the renovation of the SKD, what they did in the other areas of sports, and he also mentioned that one of his disappointment was the fact that they did not set the foundation for other governments to follow through on, given the fact that they came from a soccer or football background. you know, as a disappointment, because he felt like, because they were the soccer guys. He even mentioned that, you know, former President Weah, you know, in this world icon, and him being a former Lone Star player, he was disappointed that they did not set the kind of foundation. And he talked about the Lone Star issue. They didn't start under Weah, and it would not end under Joseph Boakai. And they started attacking this man. And normally, you know, when you listen to the other statements that have come from other government officials, it's not the same thing as Zoga Wilson. Zoga Wilson did not insult the president. Zoga Wilson did not come after the former president. Zoga Wilson has been a friend of President George Weah for 35, 40 years. They have good friendship. And as a public official, I think he has the right to say, listen, in retrospect, I wish we could have done this, given our backgrounds. And we did not do that. And I'm hoping that this government, even though they don't have a football background, does, do better than we did. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a minister admitting or being disappointed that they did not go as far as he wished that they would have gone. I think that's important. I think that's honesty. This is not a personal attack. He did not attack the president. So when you go after him only because he did not think that they did as much as they could have done, given their backgrounds, I think it says a lot about the party than it does about the former minister. And if you listen to what he said, he gave a lot of credit. He talked about their successes, but you can't only talk about successes. He didn't talk about personal conversation with the former president. He spoke about his single disappointment. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So for these guys to be attacking the former minister, I think it's wrong. I think they should stop. And the leadership, they're all in all of these different chat rooms. They should speak up against this. They should speak up against this. Someone who is being honest about that their disappointment should not be attacked only because they says, hey, you know what? I wish I could have done more. I think that's wrong. I just wanted to just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't think the minister is. I don't know if he's making stuff up. I mean, a lot of us were kind of shocked that under a football regime, a football president regime, the sports community, I think, had a very bad time during President Weah's president. I think it was the first time in our lifetime when our football field could not host, games, and we had to move our games to Sierra Leone and other parts. I think Zoga is speaking the truth. So why are they upset? Jim McBorough said you're wrong, Rabbi. I don't know wrong about what.
No, but Mr. Nagbe, you still have to understand the issue that he made it clear. The stadium being banned did not happen as a result of CDC or the ministry under Zoga Wilson not being proactive. That issue happened under the 4 years of Unity Party, right? After $20 million had been spent on renovation, only for the stadium to have been banned after an inspection occurred in 2015. This was before CDC came into power. So CDC took the heat for it because it was banned under their administration. But they acted. The government spent $2 million and renovated the SKD. Today, Sierra Leone is using that stadium for home matches because their own stadium has been banned by FIFA as well. So they acted. What he was saying is, given the fact that he and George Weah comes from a football background, he did not think that they set a foundation when it comes to financial support to the Lone Star, preparation, programs, investment, all of these things. He felt like they understood it better because they were once there, and they did not do that. That's an honest assessment when it comes to maybe I could have done more given my background. That's all he said. So these internal fights should not be happening, and you cannot just be so quick to criticize someone because they are being honest about what could have been done more in that area. And so I think it weakens the party more so than it strengthens the party. I think it should focus on the failures of the administration that came to rescue and change and do things better than CDC did, and they have not done that. That should be the focus.
Well, thank you very much. Every time I open my mouth about CDC, it's just like I'll just leave it alone. All right, Jen, I take it back. All right. She said, I understand you would jump on negative news about CDC because. All right, Jen, I take it back. All right. I'm going to move on. There are two topics I want us to do. I don't think our guys are doing the call that. I think they are, I
Yeah,
don't
let's just
know.
move on to the next topic so
Yeah,
we can do
there
that.
are two things I wanted to talk about, but I think we'll just do that one. I had approached Chief Tomalin to help me reach out to Minister Koga, who is calling for an audit of the superintendent of NIMBA, to reach out to Senator Koga and also reach out to Superintendent Myean, but I don't think he got a response back. So I think we will leave it here. I want us to give them the opportunity of responding to the press, what's in the press. So the last, I will leave that maybe for another day. But what I want to also close on is I understand there is an EU Sahel region ambassador who is in the country, and he's in the country because he says that Liberia cannot afford to ignore the region's spiraling instability, urging tighter border controls, vigilance against disinformation, and sustained engagement as Morocco prepares to take a seat on the UN Security Council. We have these various these rebel activities occurring, across Africa, Nigeria, DR Congo, and other, Boko Haram, other. Then you have, the departure of Mali, I believe, in Niger, if I'm not mistaken, and Burkina Faso from the ECOWAS, community. And then we have, all of these economic migrants moving about. So the region is in flux, and the envoy, the EU envoy in the region, he came to Liberia. I don't know what I saw this is yesterday in the investigator. He came to forewarn our authorities to make preparations because the migration that is happening to places like Ghana, Senegal, and all these places, and we are seeing some of the Burkina Bees here. It is coming to hit us. So I don't know if this is something we should be concerned about. I mean, the problem we have in Africa are always the borders. The borders are very porous. I mean, I think Liberia has pretty close to, I think, 150 entry points or something like that. And I understand over 100 of those points cannot be met effectively. So I just wanted to quickly, let's close out on that topic. If you guys have any thoughts on that, should we be worried? Is this not a big deal? I mean, the Burkina Faso are already here in Liberia, very active. They're not the only ones, but they seem to be the most active. And for them, they always go in the farthest part of the remotest part of the country. They say they do farming, but most people say they do mining and all kinds of stuff.
Well, the Liberian government need to, our borders, they need to be careful. I mean, because in the past, Liberia is used as one of the major drug transit point, the transportation point, and so we need to go back to our borders and keep a record of those entering our country on a regular basis and know what they are doing, what they're going to do in Liberia.
Right.
It's not good for Liberia because all our country right near Guinea, Mali, all those places, they are gone. And Liberia is very porous. The borders are very porous. And it's possible that anything could happen in our country if the government is not keeping. But my question here is what is EU doing? What are their rules? What are they going to do to help Liberia? What advice are they giving us in terms of providing the logistic and everything that we need to protect our country? Are you just coming to tell us to be careful? This is what you need to do. What can you do? Is our official asking what can you guys do to help us to protect our country and stuff like that? I think it's very important. Things like that.
Thank you. I'm laughing here, but Robert Frank Jean is very busy. But we're gonna move on. Raul, you want to say something?
Yeah, leave change alone, man. Yeah, but no doubt. But yeah, I mean, I get your point. I get what you're saying, but the government is it's not the EU's responsibility to come and tell us to tighten our borders. We are a member of the EU, and so when these things are happening, why do they even have to come and warn us? That tells you that maybe we don't have the kind of the level of intel that we should have to
probably seeing something that we're not seeing.
Yeah, but why? Why?
I know you continue, but I am looking on the positive side of it, considering what Dr. Peabody is saying. There's stuff they might be seeing that we're not seeing, and they're coming to give us the heads up. Because I understand you met with the foreign minister official, you met with the IG and other such people. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I get if they're seeing something that we're not seeing. The question is though, I mean, I get it, but our borders should be tightened. When these things are happening, we should invest in tightening our borders. That's just plain fact. We spent almost $7.9 million. I mean, I read that stuff the other day on travels and per diem and food. Almost $8 million we spent. Okay, the government spent. Okay, let me make sure this is what I'm saying is 7.9 million on foreign trips. Okay, all right, 7.8 million on food and entertainment in 1 year and 8 months, almost 2 years. This is what we spent. So if you add 7.9 million plus 7.8 million dollars on foreign trips and entertainment, do you know what that money could possibly do when it comes to border security? So this is my frustration. But the government could not afford $343,000 to give to Lone Star when they went to play. The government could not do that. The same government cannot afford when the Moroccans provided and this happened under the George Weah administration as well. When the Moroccans provided for us the facilities, okay, accommodation, all they asked us to pay for was per diem, Doc. The government did not have money for 1 month training. So we don't have money. We're asking the EU to come and help us to tighten our borders, but we got money to spend all this kind of money over on foreign trips. Trips with no return on investment. I have not heard a single return on investment. And people can argue, oh, the Chinese are about to, they've started the construction process for the overall passage. That stuff been in the news since God was a boy. It's been in the news since Ellen Johnson still leave time.
Yep.
You spend all that goddamn money, but you can't, but with no return on investment. So what are we treating government as? Government should be treated as a corporation. If you spend that kind of money, there should be a planning place to say, you know what, if we put this kind of money in, then we should come back to say, you know what, Liberians will spend this kind of money, but we brought $150 million. And this is how we're going to invest that money. We're going to spend another $10 million on foreign trips, but we're going to come back with another $150 million. But they're not doing that. They're spending all of these people, Liberian people, money.
Right.
But we can spend that money in priority areas, but they're coming back with not a damn thing. I mean, this is really frustrating, man. And most of these guys on these trips, without government, they will not be able to afford these trips. Let's just be clear. They're flying business class. When was the last time you saw them fly business class as a private citizen on their own? They can't afford those tickets.
It's sad. Unfortunately, they will misuse the funds, and then they say we'll ask our international partners. That's all they do. They're traveling in numbers. The speaker and the whole group is in China. The president is here for I don't know how many days for UN General Assembly. It's not even he's here. All of them all over the country. So it's just sad for our country.
What is he doing here so early, Doc?
Maybe medical checkup, other stuff, I guess,
And then they should tell the Liberian people, the man coming on medical, let me speak my real Liberian English. They should tell the people, man, come on medical checkup for 5 days before the UN General Assembly.
With another half-hour delegation.
You know? It's crazy, man.
It's sad, but what can we do? So, I mean, it's very sad, and I hope the EU is engaging them and letting them know. I hope they're not taking it for granted, because it will affect us in the long run if we take it for granted. So, I think that's why I stopped, Mr.
Yeah, and Doc, thank you very much. I think that's where we will stop, unless Raul late has one closing comment. If you guys have anything else to close on.
No, I mean I don't have much. But it was great seeing Doc on Monday.
Yeah, great. We're good to see you.
Great seeing Doc on Monday. We were in. Yeah, it was really, really fun. We're in.
I saw you too. I saw you were having a good time.
Oh
you were hanging out with Christopher and Neil, all looking all debonair and suave.
Oh yeah.
It was a beautiful wedding, man.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
It was nice you guys went, man. I mean, I know Chris kind of distant, and I'm happy for the family.
I'm thinking about going to. I'm not sure that if you go, but I'm really contemplating on going to the diaspora conference.
You know what? They have sent us information, the closing argument. In fact, somebody called me last night from the committee. I got to call him back today. He has sent me. He said Dr. Dunn had reached out to him and give him a number to call. So I hope I got to remember the guy number and call him back. But I think they won the closing argument to attend as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going. So if you guys are going, that's kind of.
It's gonna be on a weekend, right?
Yeah, it's on the 26th and the 27th. But I'm trying to just fly in for a day. I got 4 days and fly back.
26, 27. That's a perfect time.
Yeah.
Saturday, I can come on. We could go on a Friday night and leave. Yeah. That worked for me.
Yeah,
that worked for me.
Yeah.
So perfect.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I won't be there. I put in an excuse. I'll be hosting Musa Ability in Philadelphia. I sent. How you in the Atlanta area? So I thought you were far away, but I can see you on invite.
It'll be on the 27th, right?
It's on the 26th and the 27th. But when the champion coming? When is he coming?
I believe he may be here now or coming this weekend, because he should be attending the Yola program on next weekend in Indiana. So
and where are you hosting him? Where are you hosting him?
The next weekend will be in Philadelphia, the same weekend you're talking about. Well, our day is just a one-day event, Saturday. Saturday evening.
Okay, I probably.
No, but the chairman got to call me.
No, I'm gonna go there.
Saturday.
Thank you. I will let the chairman know to call Robert.
Yeah, man, the chairman owed me a call.
September 26th is the program, right?
No, 27.
27 is on a Sunday.
It's Saturday. 27 is a Saturday.
Oh, you know,
September.
I'm looking at it wrong.
I think you're looking at the wrong month.
I'm looking at 2026 calendar.
Yeah, it's
hold on.
27 is it's a Saturday. Yeah,
the 26th is on a Friday. The 27th is on Saturday, and the 28th is on Sunday.
Yeah, my goal is to attend just one section of
the
on that Friday, and then I'll be here.
Yeah,
I'll try to attend you. I will try to come up to that program.
Yeah, okay. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
All right. In the meantime, remember, Robert, the bossman got to call the bossman.
Yeah, but the man said want to call me. Maybe want me to come to Liberia. When I come to Liberia, I'm doing a lot of political engagement. I might even go see President Joseph Barker, even though the people there, don't matter, will not let me go to the exec mansion to go see it. But I'll go there.
Well, you personally graduate now to the executive mansion?
Depending people there, but they can gossip about me with my friend, and my friend can't tell me. I got some good friends close to the president.
Maybe Simon Steve Queer will change the environment. Maybe they'll let you through.
Yeah, I heard.
I reached out to him. I wanted to encourage him to come on, and tell us what his outlook. Send him a message this morning. He was in a meeting. He didn't call me back yet. Let him come on and talk to us. Tell us what is the culture. What is he looking forward to? I mean, he's been in the belly of the beast already. It's not a new place for him. So, we put our invite out. I hope you will pick it up and come on, and talk.
We'll be up here one day on a closing argument.
Yeah, let's let him come and talk to us, see what it is that he's contemplating. you know, and come and talk to her. I think the government is too shy of the press. We say that all the time. So when they do that, the narrative is shaped by people like you and myself who are not in the government. I think they should come on here and shape the narrative.
Yeah, but the man listening right now, if he come out, ask him though, because people are also arguing, which I thought is a good argument that Peabody. This man is not brand new. He's been in the office as vice president for decades, and many of the administrative lapses that we see happening right now happened when he was chief of staff of the president, the vice president. So I want to know if there have not been many successes under his watch, what kind of nuances and what new ideas is he bringing on board as Minister of State to really kind of start to move the needle? It would be good if he's not a new. Yeah, he's not a new guy, so
Yeah, Robert, I absolutely agree with you. I know we're closing now. Look, I know Samuel Steve from the days we were in high school. And I like him. I'll be honest, he's a friend. But I agree with you, Robert. I really thought the president would have gone outside of the circle and bring in fresh eyes. Does Simon Stephen know the system in and out? Steve Quayle know the system in and out? Yes. Like you said, he's been there like forever. But I think it's about time the president brought in that fresh set of eyes, fresh set of approaches. But the president went for comfort because practically he's comfortable with Steve. Like you said, they've been together since the vice president days, almost 20 years. I'm sure probably more than that. Mm-hmm. So I think the president went with the comfort level. He's comfortable with Samuel Steve Quayle, and I think that's one of the things that drove. I mean, he's competent too. That is not the pushover, but only because of what you're saying. And I thought he would have gone outside the box and brought in somebody fresh, But it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
So I hope you would take up the invitation. Come on here. See what he intends to do to change the narrative, and prove you and I wrong, Robert. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you very much, gentlemen. Good show.
Hi, guys.
We made Jerome shame because he thought we're not going to hold it 40 years absent. When he come back tomorrow, he will pay that.
No, we
thank you so much for making the show tonight, man.
Yeah,
thank
tell him when he's not on, then you see Dad came on today. When I saw you, I said, no, I got to come on too. You see, I just came from the office. I came from the office and I came right on. I ain't changed my clothes yet. So, but
you did come early today. I gotta say, my wife said, "Oh, Raul came early today."
Yes, I had to. I told my wife.
Thank you all very much. Thanks to the audience. Thanks to our Yola team that came on. Thanks to the guys in the studio. Thank you all so much. Let's do it again.
Thanks to the audience for watching. Thanks to I met some folks.
Now, I didn't thank Jane because she was on you a lot.
Jane, thank you, man. Thank you. I met some folks at the wedding. Sometimes I meet people that know me. I don't know them, but I like the fact that people still come up to say hello and things like that, and we have a good conversation. They know that the Peabody, all the people that know that the Peabody, and they know, but sometimes they know me and they say, "Hey, Robert," I say, "Yeah." I mean, but it's always good interaction with folks. So thanks to all the audience for watching.
No, you're right. I think because of the platform, there are some eyes for I too. I get that too. Now people associate you with the program. It's not a bad thing, Thanks to the platform for the additional exposure.
Wonderful, man. We're trying to make this platform grow the best way we can. So
there you go. There goes
out there at weddings, programs, and things. It's just to get more people attention to know that.
Absolutely.
So, guys, wonderful show.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys. Let me end this because I know.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Good night.